Alright, we're good.
Be like,
Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Welcome to another episode of Bussin' with the Boys. It is episode 306. We have a massive show in store. We have Gilly the Kid.
Gilly the Kid.
Coming on. We're going to be talking Surviving Barstool. We also have head coach Dan Lanning and head coach Dillingham joining the show.
Dan Lanning being the Oregon Ducks head coach.
Yeah, Big Ten
Coach
champion.
Dillingham, Big 12 champion, ASU.
Yeah, we're going to be talking college football playoff. A lot of fun things on the show. Before we get started, we need to shout out the one and only, the Chevy Silverado. We are presented by our good friends at Chevy, and there's a reason we've never done a tier talk for best pickup trucks, and that is because for Bussin' with the Boys, there is only one pickup truck for our hearts, and that is the Chevy Silverado. Why is that, you might ask? Silverado is a partner you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using the Silverado for all kinds of adventures and other shenanigans, and Silverado was a partner with us on the spring tour. They were on the fall tour, and Silverado brings grit, legendary grit paired with modern truck tech inside and out, massive screens, up to 8 cameras with 14 different views to help make driving, towing, and parking all easier. We love the bold, blacked out look of the new Silverado HD Trail Boss, and there's a reason the Chevy is America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality over the last 3 years, according to JD Power. You guys know I rip around town with my blacked out ZR2 Chevy Silverado. So head over to Chevy.com to build your own Silverado or Silverado HD and check out all the current offers on the Silverado this holiday season. Discover a world of strength and capability all behind the world of our favorite truck, the Chevy Silverado. Again, it has received the highest total number of awards compared to all their brands in the JD Power 2022-2024 U.S. Initial Quality Studies. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more of those details. And again, the awards are based on 2022 to 2024 models. And if you are listening right now, watching, consider subscribing to the boys. Make sure you are locked in. You're getting notified when these episodes drop. We're Bussin' with the Boys every Tuesday. The Locker Room every Wednesday night now.
Wednesday night. The rumors were true.
Yeah, shout out Jared Beeman. He's getting those things cranked out to where we can drop them on Wednesday night now.
Big one this week.
Big one this week.
Big episode dropping in the Locker Room this week. Something that everyone's going to really want to come and see.
Very special guest.
Very special.
Very special guest that's going to be joining the show.
Yeah. Guy's a grinder, I'll say that.
He's a grinder.
He's an absolute grinder.
Some say he originated the grinder.
Right. Big weekend. Had a great weekend. We got college football talk. We got NFL talk. We got all the people coming on. But there's a gift for you. We have a gift for you.
You fucking didn't.
I got you something.
You got me
I didn't get you something. But it's right behind you. Go ahead and open it up for the people. I'll hold your cup.
Who got me the gift?
Well, open it up. Open it up, kid.
Yeah.
I'm Bussin' with the Boys. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. Right, fellas? When you say you're going to do something, you do it. So we got something nice for Will. Courtesy of the one and only George Kittle. Look at that. Oh, it's a real one. Game worn helmet. That's his helmet. That's his.
Oh, George Kittle, you son of a bitch.
Those of you listening on audio, that was Will actually opening up the box right there, and it reveals a 46 George Kittle helmet. Now, while Will is putting the helmet on,
the bet was that if Nebraska beats Iowa, I have to wear an Iowa helmet during Bussin' with the Boys, and if Nebraska would have won, he would have had to wear a Nebraska helmet during his next press conference.
You look sharp.
Thanks.
You look good.
Any chance you can get the chin strap down?
Yeah. Might as well just put the helmet on all the way. Strap it up.
Oh,
Dialed in.
I feel like I can play cornerback right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Them cheeks puffing out right now.
I know.
Them cheeks
we
are
got to
getting
get a little
squished.
adjusted on these high ones, but it feels pretty nice. George and I
fits
got the
good?
same head.
Good face mask.
Yeah.
Good. You can, a lot of visibility in that thing right there. How do you, what did you have the zip ups like that one has? You like that?
Yeah, because back in the day when you were a young buck, you always wanted your chin strap. You wanted to be a little snug up here, so that way when you unstrapped it, that it would be sitting here like this, kind of like Deion Sanders prime time. He would have the gloves, he would have the swag going on, so you would always want it sitting up here. So I always used the zip ones because it made me feel,
When did the zip ones come into the fold?
Yeah. Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Your coffee, sir. You look fantastic.
Adopted the dark. Yeah, great. This is a great gift.
Is black and gold?
Great gift.
Black and gold maybe the best high school football colors you can have.
Black and gold.
Black and gold is a hard high school football color.
Just to help out. Do you mind if I just sit it like this?
I don't mind. You'll have to ask George, but I don't mind.
I don't want to call George.
Had a big one yesterday.
Do what?
They had a big one yesterday.
Yeah.
Boys came up and showed out.
Big win.
Had like 256 yards to the Bears 3 at one point.
Yeah, I really thought the Bears would jump on top of that opportunity
Mm-hmm.
of an injury-ridden 49er team that's kind of been up and down all year long.
Up and down. No Nick Bosa, no Trent.
Gil Williams had been playing better as of late.
I picked the Bears on the locker room, and I felt bad about it because I do love the 49ers so much. But they just came out and dominated. Kittle,
from start to
big
finish.
day.
Yeah.
Kittle's been on fire. Like quietly just been crushing it while the 49ers have had a tough season.
Well, because you got Brock Bowers out there in Vegas just having a year. Not just as a rookie, but for tight ends. He's the best player at the position right now.
He has the most receptions as a tight end as a rookie.
Yeah.
The most receptions as a tight end as a rookie. As a rookie tight end. That was from Mitch Carsley. He didn't have the microphone, so I just wanted to relay the
whose
information
record did
to
he
the
break?
viewer.
Ditka? Laporta. Oh, Laporta got okay.
Laporta
okay,
was
okay.
like that.
Laporta had 86 last year. Bowers has 87 now, and I want to say it was like Antonio Gates or somebody before that.
And that's not very surprising. When we were in Athens last year for the South Carolina game, and we sat up with those big wigs in the suite.
Impressive looking specimen.
They were all saying like this. He is the reason why Georgia is as successful as they are. Like he's not just a hell of a ball player, but he's also like a great leader as well.
I know he's like number 3 in the odds right now, but he should seriously be considered for offensive rookie of the year. Right now you got Jaden Daniels, you got Bo Nix. Bo's been coming on a lot stronger on the back half of the year because Jaden kind of had a little lull in the middle of the season. And it's like a quarterback-driven league, so everybody's going to be focused on the quarterbacks. But and the Raiders, they're not very good. They're not good. It's like Bowers has been balling, bro.
Yeah.
Another one is that corner for the Eagles, Quinyon. My
Toledo
fault.
kid, right?
Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell.
Wasn't he taken in the first round?
He was first round, and Cooper was the second round.
That's right, because that's when we thought the Eagles were going to take in the first round Cooper.
Yeah,
and they took some kid from Toledo, and obviously Will and I were like, whoa.
Quinyon Mitchell's like a Tariq Woolen on the Seahawks. He's like super, super long, and he's really, really fast.
Yeah, bro.
That's
I'm
awesome,
sure
man.
he's up for defensive rookie of the year because he's been balling.
Man.
But yeah, man.
Dude, Brock Bowers. And the Raiders now have the first two. Are we focused on today, Jack?
What you laughing at?
His phone just went off.
No, what was it?
His phone went off. The volume went off.
The volume went off. His video of a snake that Taylor posted on Twitter.
Did you see that video?
It's terrifying.
I thought that was your house for a second.
Dude.
How dumb am I?
Oh, you watched that video?
I'm like, rattlesnakes down in his little barn. They're finding the heat.
I don't even have a barn.
So there's rattlesnakes in Nashville? I don't even have a barn.
I posted a video on Twitter the other day of these two guys walking down into like a cellar type thing, right? And there's like a rattlesnake and it's just rattling. And then one of his buddies is tripping and the camera turns and there's literally a little snake like slithering his way down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, I'd probably just die on the spot. Snakes
that'd be the
are
most
my
terrifying.
biggest fear by far, dude. They scare
Yeah.
the shit out of me. So yeah, man. Yeah, football happened. Football, Titans. Jack and I get on a flight from Vegas.
Before we get into football though, how was Vegas?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I was telling you this before the show. I don't want to say like what actually happened because I think the vlog is going to come out this week, right?
Me and JB didn't talk about it, but yeah.
But it'll come out this week. The vlog's going to come out this week. And there was a lot of times when you watch people gamble, you see them just winning, the clips of them winning. Things didn't go so well at one point. But I will say this. It is amazing. There's no better feeling to learn a lesson in life that has changed you with zero repercussions for the actions you've made. So I'm happy. Just know that I'm happy. But there was a moment there, Jack can attest to this, I was not happy. Riding up in that elevator.
You're the type, though, you need the repercussions.
Go ahead and elaborate.
Remember when we were leaving Boost that one morning?
That kid dog walked me walking out the...
No. You got in your truck and you were hightailing it down the road. Got pulled over. But fortunately, you being you get out of it.
Oh, this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Great memory. And people think you have CTE. This is literally 2020 because it was during COVID.
Yeah.
I was going 75 and a 45.
Yeah.
And a cop pulled me over because I was actually trying to make it to a meeting on time. And cop pulled me over.
Driving casually. JP, we were in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indianapolis. I got a ticket. Did I get a ticket?
No, you didn't. You pulled out.
License.
You pulled out. Yeah. You didn't have your license. You pulled up the Wikipedia on him.
I did. Yeah. I did. Well,
yeah, oh shit.
So I've been pulled over. The thing that Will and JP are talking about right now is we were driving back from Indianapolis after doing the McAfee show, and I didn't have a license. I've been pulled over without a license before in high school, and they handcuff you and put you in the back of a cop car until they can identify who you are. So I did pull up the Wikipedia, be like, this is me. This is who I am. So you have identification. I see the way it went. It wasn't meant to do that way. Did it help out? Yeah. It helped a little bit, which is interesting because we're in Indianapolis. But I guess the question is what lesson needs to be learned there?
In which one?
I'm just getting to where I'm going in a quick way.
I think everybody can attest to that. Like you able to push the boundary a little bit and get away with something. It kind of, you don't actually learn the lesson for real. I mean, there's situations with, I'm sure everybody listening. I know myself, it's like if you get away with something, you almost feel like you can get away with it again.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know what I mean?
I guess you're right. Well, all that to be said, next time I go to Vegas, I'm definitely not going to put myself in that position again because that was a scary one. Worked out for us. Jackie himself, too. He had himself a nice little weekend.
Jack, you had a good weekend?
He had a sneaky weekend.
I see you didn't take my parlay. I see you didn't take my college football parlay.
I know. Well, dude, it never ceases to amaze me that Vegas, you can't gamble online there. It makes sense. They make you go to the casinos.
Right.
The brick and mortar sports books.
Right.
But it sucks because even though we're staying in the casino and you can just walk across the building to it, you're like, why don't you just do it on your phone? So I didn't.
And when you got the app, it's like you can strategize. Okay, what if I move this and what if I move that one?
I wish I'd taken that bet because I took a bad heart. It was with my heart. I took that Texas line. And Texas lost that game every which way they could. Between penalties and drop balls and it was just messy for them. And Georgia seemed to click a little bit when Carson Beck got hurt. What's his name? Stockton. He came in and
second best last name you can have on the back of a jersey.
So that one hurt, and it was a lot on that. But at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some, I guess.
Yeah.
The Texas one was tough too.
Yeah.
That was the scary one going into it.
Did you think what did you think going into that game? What was your prediction?
I thought Texas. I took Texas individually, but I didn't put them in that parlay because that was the only one where I was like nervous that Georgia could pull one out. But yeah, I saw you dropped the PlayStation.
Yeah, Sarkisian, he did was it a halftime? His halftime update, and he's like, I hope they get some calls too. They get some flags thrown on them because there was laundry all over the field in that game, man.
They get like 11 total penalties by the game.
Just crazy.
One I wish I would have felt super confident about was Arizona State. I ended up taking the over, which that hit, but that was another one I was kind of like on the fence about if Arizona State. I mean, they dog walked them. Arizona State, man, again, picked to be last.
Picked to be last in the Big 12, and they won the Big 12. Maybe the hottest team in the country right now.
Right. Like they've been outside of that last play against BYU, but they've been beating teams' ass, bro. You would love to see them make some noise in the college football playoff.
Well, Garrett brought up a good point while we were getting all set up for the bus is that is the team you don't want to be going in this break because they are so hot. They're trailblazing right now. They are crushing it. And now they're going to take this 2, 3, 4 week break.
Right.
And then have to go start right where they pick up right where they left off. And that's a difficult thing to do. Some of these teams that are a little more washy, that have been a little more up and down, they have a chance to reset, recalibrate, and get going. But ASU, you want to just keep it flowing, man.
Yeah, you want to keep that lightning in a bottle hot.
So we can't show this play, right? Because it's we can't show this play in the clips, but there is a play where The line slides to the left, and 7, the nickel, he comes in and just smokes the quarterback. It's like 45-7 at this point. It's like the game is totally in hand. I went and looked at the depth chart. This kid's a starter. He's a starter on the football team. 2 questions. Is he suspended for the first half of their first playoff game?
Yeah.
And why does Dillingham have your starting nickel in when it's 45-7?
Them boys are out there still
You got to throw
competing.
them 2s and 3s out, brother. You got to.
Yeah.
Thin roster, probably.
Maybe.
True.
Maybe they got a thin roster, but I thought that was a good, clean hit.
I mean, it is. It's just like, you got the rule. You got the rule now on protecting quarterbacks. Like that's a highlight hit you want. Like that's a great football hit right there.
Great football hit. Just ran through
Just putting your
contact.
helmet right under their chin.
God.
Probably the getting on top and driving him down.
Well,
Yeah.
since his helmet's right under his chin, it's like the crown of his helmet's just like smacking him.
Yeah,
in the
but he's
face.
not like the whole point of targeting was to protect players from injury, from
Yeah.
getting hurt, from leading with their helmets, leading with their spine and
He
issues.
killed him.
That's a hit as a defensive player you dream about, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No pain.
They don't
nothing,
see
just
you
running
until
right through
literally
it.
the last second, but it's too late that
It's
they
too
can't
late.
move.
Can't get out of that thing, dude. That's unbelievable. Let's check in with JP. Clemson.
I know Will's happy.
Yeah, what was going on in that group chat?
What am I happy about?
You wanted Clemson to win.
Happy but not happy.
But
No, that's why I was confused.
time out. Number one, I love chaos. I mean, I'm out of it. Like this, like I'm wearing an Iowa football helmet. This is what happens when you go 1-9 against the Iowa football
Still a
team.
successful season, but yeah, not.
But I'm
as
saying
happy
I
as
have
it could be.
no dog in the fight. You know what I mean? So I wanted to see a little bit of chaos, but also like I wanted Clemson to win in a big way. I wanted Texas to handle Georgia. So that way Georgia's like a 3-loss team. I know they're saying that there's going to be no implications on losing a team that's in the championship game. But if you still have that like a dominating or a quality win on Texas and a dominating performance by Clemson, that helps the South Carolina fan base get that much louder
But
for the college football playoff, because Clemson obviously gets in with the automatic bid.
Right.
And if Clemson's left out, like you're sitting there arguing Bama, because again, SMU made that game close. If they don't make it close, if Clemson handles business, like SMU's out of it, and you're probably putting Bama in there. But the chaos of you guys having a resume or an argument to be in there, that's why I wanted Clemson to win. Because you even alluded to it a couple weeks ago in the locker room.
Alluded to what? If
Like
they win.
the potential of South Carolina being able to sneak in. Like you beat Clemson, say they go to the ACC championship and some shot in hell, and then they
But
win.
Yeah, that's
that
You have the
conversa-
win over the ACC championship.
That
weeks
conversation
ago.
started with like South Carolina dominating Clemson.
right.
You have to dominate Clemson, and then Clemson dominate whoever they play in the ACC, and it's like, oh, Clemson's got to be in.
Yeah.
But, it's
But the
also-
first domino didn't fall.
I'll say this. I know this is 1,000%. I'm not happy that Clemson won to like piss off South Carolina.
No, yeah, no.
I like Clemson wins. They're a 3-loss team. They, out of all the 3-loss teams we have in the country right now, like they are not the 3-loss team that should be in the playoff. But based on the way the format is set up, they get the automatic bid in there.
Which needs to be changed.
Yeah, I think everybody's realizing that
No, I know.
they got to do something, because even the way it's all shaked up, you look at the path of Penn State. Like if you just rank these teams 1 through 12 on the 12 teams that get in, even if they're out like ranked outside the top 12 or whatever, you just rank them as they stand. Like you're going to get a better layout of the bracket anyway.
Yeah.
Georgia has a pretty.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
Clemson, it's not a horrible route for them either. And the frustrating part about Clemson as a
Can we
South
pull up the
Carolina
bracket?
fan is
Sure.
No matter what, they're your biggest rival. And we, at the end of the day, we pretty much know there's no way we're going to get in. So the last thing we want to see is our rival get in, because the way they talk after this bum win of a true freshman kicker nailing a 55-yard field goal, which was impressive. But they're just stomping on South Carolina right now somehow. I just keep dropping the screenshot of the score, like, nah, like stay in your corner. We do own the state. They're like,
Doing that shit.
yeah. I'm just like, man.
I feel you. Because when SMU got back in and tied it up, I wanted to see
Right.
OT and SMU win, even though my parlay, I was like, well, if Clemson wins money line, that parlay will hit. But when they got back in the game, because it was 21-7 at halftime,
Right.
I was like, man, Clemson's beating their ass. Like SMU might fall out of the playoff now.
First quarter. And then Davo, oh my God, bro. This man tried to say they deserve a bye. I couldn't believe it.
So we could use
You don't even deserve to get in. You don't even deserve to be in the ACC.
Ooh. I mean, they are the champs. They did win
They won the whole ACC.
I know, bro, but
because Miami laid in like dropped one against Syracuse.
Crazy though that in the ACC, out of those 3 teams, SMU, Clemson, and Miami, that they didn't play each other throughout the year.
I know.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
That's where you're an SEC fan looking at everybody. You guys all have to play each other, and
Yeah, I mean that's we have to play each other, but non-conference. I mean, like that's changing. We're supposed to play Notre Dame, Ohio State, and like 2 other big non-conference games out in like the next 4 or 5 years.
which is in
And
this
that's
format,
changing.
you don't want that.
Oh,
No,
you don't want that
cupcakes
schedule.
all the way.
Yeah.
oh, it's already been worked on. Nope. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think you guys handle Ohio State though. They're done.
Yeah, but like, why would you risk it?
Right, like to Garrett's point, it's like you just have, like you just said, the cupcake. You want those cupcake non-conference
They
because
chose-
clearly they're not valuing,
Strength of
all
schedule.
strength of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and y'all are still the only power conference that does 8 conference games instead of 9, right? Were they talking about changing that too now with like how big the SEC is? I think that was like being talked
But
about.
still, even then, that doesn't help for this argument.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying like as far as playing everybody in your conference, but I think the ACC might be 8 conference games too. I could be wrong on that.
The 3 best ones didn't even play each other.
Yeah, look at this bracket.
This bracket's yeah. I mean, Oregon's in a tough
Crazy
spot.
that you look at the AP and then the
Yeah, Clemson is
look at the AP and then you look at the CFP bracket.
Yeah.
How we were talking about earlier, like a 16 team has the first round bye because they won their conference. Which I'm not down in ASU because that's fucking awesome for them.
They earned it.
But
Arizona State's 12, Boise is 9. But yeah, they get a bye.
It's crazy.
That is
I
nuts.
am glad, and I know JP's glad about this, that they did not give the bye to Clemson. Like, fuck that.
That would have been if they would have jumped.
I would have lost it,
If they would have jumped Arizona State.
bro. I promise you. That'd be-
Yeah, it's like you see this format, and it's like
Can you go back to the format, Sherm?
Oregon having the number 1 seed, like they went undefeated, won the Big Ten, all of that. Like their road now they do have a bye, but it's like they get the winner out of Tennessee and Ohio State. Whereas Penn State, you're sitting there, you're playing an SMU team that you should probably beat, and then you got Boise State. And based on everything, it's like, yo, Penn State kind of has a better setup to get there than say an Oregon.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that saves Boise State is they're ranked in this bracket 3, and Franklin's 0 against top 5 teams. So technically, Boise State is the 3 team, right?
You could see Boise.
You could see Boise State.
I could even see SMU beating Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is
legit.
funny because they only lost by what, 7, 8 to the number 1 team in the country.
And what's crazy
And they put points on the board too. They were operating.
is if their quarterback, who is it, Drew Aller?
Yeah.
If he had some accuracy, bro, there's some throws he's just missing.
Well,
Because they have a deal, like they can.
Points they put up and
You see 11 run and hit on defense, that their linebacker.
yeah.
He looks crazy, bro, like a psychopath, kind of like a Michael Parsons.
Abdul Carter.
Yeah, he
Abdul
runs and
Carter.
hits. It's crazy.
That last little bracket right there, Indiana versus Notre Dame. That's gonna put Sherm's hatred to the test. Fraud off, he says.
People aren't really talking about that.
See, I think Indiana could beat Notre Dame.
Yeah. Can you
It-
see? Can you? Yeah, I think we can all see that. Can you see Clemson beating Texas
In a weird world,
in a weird world?
like if that
They need to put
the
up
way their offense was just not executing and getting points on the board, it's like you never know what's gonna happen, bro. You got all this time to prepare now.
You're in the dance.
Yeah, you're in it. You're in the tournament. That's all that matters.
Part
Like
of
I
me-
could see Ohio State. I could see Ohio State ending up in the national title game.
I think right now, Ohio State's favored by 7.5 against Tennessee. Yeah, I think Ohio State. I think right. I thought I saw that. You double check it on the DraftKings. Double check it. But I thought I saw 7.5.
And if they beat Tennessee, you got a rematch against Oregon. Obviously,
Which-
that'll be a big time game.
Yeah.
we got to see that one in person earlier this year.
Great
If
one.
they-
32-31.
They
for a first round.
In Texas, DKR, their stadium gets rowdy, but Texas is known for their biggest upsets. They're always at home. Like, they lost to Kansas at home, that 2-win Kansas team that beat them. They lost to Baylor in a huge upset at home. Like, I did throw out Baylor, but they catch a lot of L's in Austin.
I do kind of want to see Clemson take down Texas for the path of ASU. I feel much better about Clemson ASU than I do Texas ASU.
ASU's been rolling, man.
But that's the thing we were just talking about is like you've been rolling at such a rapid pace, and now you got to wait and wait. Like, do you come out rusty?
Will that
Scatterbo.
Everybody's going to have all their rest.
Will the
Yeah.
wide receiver be back for ASU, or is he like out?
Who's the wide receiver?
Their number one wide receiver.
Yeah, he was
that
out.
game.
He was out that game.
Mm.
So they didn't even have him.
Yeah, we got to look that up.
I kind of like the bracket too. There's a part of me that likes the bracket. Go back to the he had surgery.
Yeah, it said surgery on an undisclosed injury.
It's like you see the way the bracket is set up here. Clemson, they're going to get an opportunity against an SEC school. And the only team Texas has lost to is Georgia. If you're the SEC and you're the dominant conference, like there's all the opportunities to just walk through these guys. I mean, you look at Georgia. It's like if Georgia dummies like Notre Dame or Indiana and they're going in against potentially Boise State, Penn State, and SMU.
Georgia's in the national championship.
Right. Like if Tennessee beats Ohio State, then takes care of Oregon.
Tough 2 games.
Yeah, you guys have the hardest walk.
Yeah.
But again, it's like you got a second tier SEC team. If they beat Ohio State, you're going against the Big Ten champion. So right there is like, there's a lot of like bragging rights as far as conferences go, as far as teams go. Like Boise's going to have a shot to win a game in the college football playoff because they'll get the winner out of Penn State and SMU. Then you could go in like, hey, if you're actually who you think you are against these big dogs, you're going to be probably playing a Georgia team, obviously Indiana or Notre Dame, but you're going to get that shot to beat them. Like ultimately the path to being the national champion is you're going to have to beat the best teams. And no matter what, you can talk about so-and-so has an easy path, so-and-so doesn't. But once you get to the Final Four, like they're all going to be tough.
Right.
Like every game is tough. Like you're going to win the national title.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no like bragging that you made it to like a Final Four. Like maybe to some people for sure, but you're like in the dance to go win the whole thing.
I feel bad for Oregon, man. I feel like by being the 1 seed, they're hurt the most. They have the hardest path.
Yeah, but you know.
They have a bye.
Yeah, they have a bye. And Lanning, Lanning.
I'm saying of the 4. Sorry, yeah, you're right. I'm saying of the 4 teams that have byes. Like if you look at those 4 teams, who's coming down the pipe? Like you have to play either Ohio State or Tennessee. Right.
And Lanning is psychotic enough to kind of love the spot that he's in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get to talk to him in a minute about it.
Yeah.
But if you're Boise State, you got to feel good. You got to feel good because SMU really could beat Penn State. Really could.
They put a ton of points on the board.
The most favorable though
Watch
is
Penn
Georgia.
State win it
I
all.
think Georgia's in a good spot. You say Penn State gonna win it
I
all?
said, yeah, just watch Penn State win it all.
There's no way. There's no way.
James Franklin loading. That would be awesome.
This is epic anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This will just be awesome.
The college football world finally got a 12-team playoff, and everybody's so pissed off of how it worked out. It's just, you can't write this up any better.
I know, and I felt like in the middle of the year, it seemed so clear. The 12 teams was like, all right, these are the 12 teams.
Yeah.
And then just end of October hit, November started to hit, and it was just went crazy for a while. It got to a point where Will was saying the SEC is the best conference. That's how crazy it got.
Yeah.
And all
they
it took
shit
was
down their
1
leg
week.
The next week. I'll tell you what, JP, you guys gonna be you guys gonna be able to handle the Fighting Illini?
10-win season, beat Nebraska.
Bro, we're going to handle the Fighting Illini.
Yeah?
Because this team is not built like the rest of these teams in the country where we're not going to have a ton of guys opt out. Our dudes want to make history. This would be our 5th 10-win season in college football. Taylor's laughing. The 4th one came against Michigan.
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because we were on this bus before, and I was like, "How you guys gonna do against Illinois?" You're like, "Depends how many guys opt out."
But I've recently got intel.
In the last 10 minutes,
Yes.
JP's connected out
it's
there.
dialed in, huh?
And you guys got a lot of good young players anyway.
Yeah, we have so many young players that
Yeah.
will be showing up, and it's a big bowl game. Citrus
Yeah,
Bowl
it is
big. They
it's a big
chose
bowl
us
game.
over Alabama, so that helps from coach speak terms of like,
Right.
hey, like they wanted us here.
Yeah.
We got to let everybody know that we deserve to be in the playoff because we saw last year, Jack and I were talking about it, Florida State, them getting let off, then getting wiped in the bowl game.
Not a good look.
Not
Now
a
you
good
and then
look.
you see what happened after that.
Everybody hit the portal. So
Yeah.
we got a different culture here. I like Illinois. That's going to be like a fun game.
Yeah. Where's the Citrus Bowl at?
Orlando.
Okay, so that's kind of the Capital. That's like the Capital One Bowl, right?
No, Citrus Bowl's been the Citrus Bowl.
Capital
Has
One
it?
Bowl is
Because Capital One Bowl was Orlando,
because we played y'all there.
January 1st or 2nd. When's the Citrus Bowl?
It's still in Orlando.
Oh, New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I got that one wrong.
Mm.
Should be good though. Our old wide receivers coach, he coaches at Illinois. So shout out to him.
Who's Bama got?
You know who they got?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah, Alabama,
a
DeBoer.
7-5 Michigan team going against a 3-loss Alabama team.
What's that mean?
It's just Michigan's in a position, an unfavorable position, because Alabama. There was an argument literally last week about why Alabama should be in the playoff. People are saying Alabama's going to be in the playoff, and now they're playing a 7-5 ball club that doesn't throw the ball.
Yeah, but you guys just took down Ohio State.
Yeah, we did. So we could beat them.
You don't sound too confident.
No, I don't. I'm not. I'm not very
They're
confident.
playing at 7-5.
I'm not very confident, and I said this last week. I could give 2 fucks about this bowl game. I do not care at all. Yeah, do another mustache bet. No, here we go with the fucking bets again. I could care less about this bowl game. I'm on 2025 like no one's business right now. I'm so excited.
Quarterback
Just,
in. Just sign Herb Street.
I was about to say, he signed a big recruit.
Yeah.
Big recruit. Got Herb Street. And I saw Herb Street had a little post. Excited to watch my son, blah, blah, going to Michigan. I just commented, say it. Say go blue. Say it. He didn't. But, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm sure Alabama will figure out a way to make the game close. And we'll just scratch one out. Maybe scratch one out.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with this portal stuff.
Yeah, the portal seems like Alabama's getting a little dummied in the portal right now.
Yeah. I mean, it was like an hour after they selected the bracket and it just started.
Guys,
going.
just could Alabama be dead, man?
Okay.
5 minutes.
5 minutes until Coach Lanning.
All right, guys. Well, do you want to take a quick break? Let the
We can
people
do
in.
that. Yeah, we can rip an ad read, and then next time you will see us on here, we will have Coach Dan Lanning, head coach of the Oregon Ducks, the Big Ten champion.
You know what we all needed to get a little more of? Off of our ass. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew will get you off your ass and have you feeling like you're an actual mountain dude. Baja Blast, Code Red Voltage. All of it's delicious. Right now in my hand, I have this Mountain Dew Zero Sugar right here. You want all the taste. You want all of that taste without the regret? This is the one for you. A mountain where the weather is always perfect. Your friends are ready to hang, and a day of epic proportions await, dude. Listen, people love to booze it up when you go to tailgates. Have yourself an opportunity. Grab yourself a Dew. Give your soul a tasty treat. Putting that in your body, getting ready for extreme fandom. That's what it's all about. The mountain is calling, so you should answer. Grab your friends. Grab an ice cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do. Now let's get into this Dan Lanning episode.
All right, first question.
Hold on.
Oh, what?
Wow, we were live.
Yeah.
No.
Are we started up?
Yeah, are we starting now?
But we're not just going to start by saying first question. This is Dan Lanning. This is a Big Ten champion of the Oregon Ducks.
You're right. I need to show my respect.
Let's give the man a round of applause. Give him a little bit of love.
Yeah, that's on me.
Pretty ready to go, man.
Yeah, he was. Hey, first question.
Yeah.
But this is a good first question. Go ahead.
How much credit would you say Bussin' with the Boys deserves for showing up this season, watching you beat Ohio State, and you guys kind of went on to go undefeated and run the table?
Yeah, that very well may have been the spark that we needed to, capitalize on this season that we've had. But no, to be honest, you guys deserve just about as much credit as I deserve. Zero, no fair.
Oh shit!
How many plays did y'all make for us this season? How many plays did I make?
You're right, zero.
Our players deserve that credit, man. They've worked their tails off, but we certainly enjoy having you guys around. You're always welcome here. That's for sure.
During that celebration, it was absolutely beautiful. We lock eyes. You and Will see each other. Then you see me. This is the first time we're seeing each other. There's a big grab-ass hug. Hey, we did it. The fucking boys are screaming. And then I go in for another hug. You think it's over. I go in for a second effort. I get excited. Were you thrown off on my second tactic by coming in for that big hug?
A lot of that moment is a blur for me right now.
Good.
But yeah, that probably wasn't something I was ready for. So, I appreciate you keeping me on my toes.
Got to, man. Have to.
Your first year in the Big Ten, and you guys went undefeated. How are you feeling? How are the guys feeling? Your first year in the conference. I'm sure you're going to have some great head coach speak answering this question, but there's got to be a little bit of that evil grin that you guys come into the Big Ten conference, go undefeated, win the conference championship. How's the message been with the boys?
Yeah, I told the team yesterday, as coaches, it's so hard not to think about next, like what's next. And we had a team meeting, and I said, guys, let's just take a second to recognize what we accomplished. Because I know immediately after the game, that's exactly where my mind was, okay, what's next? Well, you don't even take an opportunity to really appreciate it. And that's the reality of it. You just don't. You're thinking about, okay, who are we playing next? Where are we going to be at? How do we prepare for it? What's our calendar look like? So we took some time yesterday just to, reflect on what we've been able to accomplish. And, you guys have all been a part of it, places where you might win a game, but it doesn't even feel like you won. And I always told myself, like, when we coach, I want to make sure when we walk off the field with a W, you make sure that you have joy in your heart for what you just accomplished. And that's how I feel about this season. Like, we accomplished some special things, but we certainly feel like there's still some more food on the table.
That is beautiful. You talk about accomplishing a lot, especially in the Big Ten. You had the opportunity to play the defending national champions at their home in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And in the fourth quarter, you decided to take a nice timeout to watch the fans of Michigan leave the stadium and then proceed to score after that. Are you happy that they're not letting a 5-loss Michigan team into the playoff because of how much they actually beat Ohio State by more than you guys did? Would you be nervous about seeing the Michigan Wolverines right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you'd be proud, Taylor, after our game the other night, there's a ton of Oregon fans there celebrating. And there's this one guy, I have no idea who he is. He goes, Coach Lanning, let me tell you something. Go blue.
Hell
We're coming
yeah.
for you. So, hey, the Michigan fans are strong. Obviously a historic program. Really excited we get the opportunity to play teams like that in the Big Ten. So they make this conference special for sure.
What a politically correct answer.
Yeah,
he's such a pro.
I want to know the psychotic speech that you had before the Penn State game. You see the clips coming out. You're bashing Washington Husky helmets at halftime. What was, I know you got that little apex predators in the Big Ten. What was the speech? Are we able to get a little inside look at what you said to the fellas?
And it'll be, how we do our recaps. So that'll be popping out probably today or tomorrow, I assume, from our media team. But we talked a little bit about being keystone species before we ever came into this conference. And kind of what a keystone species is it's a species that gets introduced into the environment and completely changes the environment. And this was kind of the keystone. This was the last piece of us getting, put into the Big Ten and what the season, played out to become. And it's really a storyline that we've kind of had all season. So you talk about the Wolves getting introduced to Yellowstone and how that affected the population. We felt the same way about us being introduced in the Big Ten, and there were some things that we had to accomplish to go do that.
Juice me the fuck up, dude.
That shit is that. Yeah.
He said the Wolves getting introduced to Yellowstone.
He did. He hit the Keystone thing too before the Ohio State game. And you're
Yeah.
like, God damn, he really is a wordsmith.
Yeah.
Talk about the leadership of Tez Johnson. So obviously him. What we're laughing about?
No, I'm just thinking Tez. Tez makes me Tez brings joy to my heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tez
So
brings joy to my heart.
in the fourth quarter of the Big Ten championship game, both of you guys were quoted as saying he came up to you and saying he needs your best 15 minutes. What's it like when a player of that caliber comes up to you and talks to you like that?
Yeah, my first reaction was like, "Hey man, shit, I need your I'm not playing. I need your
Yeah.
But I love the fact that Tez's focus in that moment. Our focus as a team in that moment, we needed it. We needed every second of everybody's best effort in that fourth quarter because obviously you're playing a good Penn State team. But Tez brings it every day, man. He's got a juice and enthusiasm that's really rare. The night before the game, he's texting me about, Coach, can I go to the stadium early so I can see how the lights are? And he went over with our equipment manager. He calls me on the way back. He goes, the lights aren't going to be a problem. I feel good about it. He was right because he went off for like 181 yards. So the lights were not a problem for Tez, but just his focus, how much just being on the field. He's one of these guys that really love football. It's not about everything else that exists right now in college football for Tez. It's about going out there and playing catch like you're out in the schoolyard or out in the park, man. He just loves playing ball, which I love coaching guys like that.
In that fourth quarter, when it was getting a little bit closer, was the statistic of James Franklin versus top 5 teams in the back of your head, knowing that was probably going to work out for you no matter what?
It was not. It was not. You guys are trying to get me.
Dude, you're doing a great job, too.
You're with the boys, man. You're one of the boys.
We're razzing. Yeah, you're bobbing and weaving right now.
Bobbing and weaving.
Do you look at how you guys are positioned at all in the bracket? Obviously, you guys got a job to do. You're focused on the next thing. You got so many other things going on, but the college football world's kind of on fire right now. Saying things like it seems like Oregon, they went undefeated. They're the 1 seed, and they got punished for their 1 seed because of you got Tennessee and Ohio State. The way the bracket has shaken out, do you see it that way? Do you pay any mind to it?
No, because it doesn't matter, right? Like who cares? It's outside noise. It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, all we can control is what we do with our opportunity. And this is an unbelievable opportunity. I don't think there's anybody that can deny, like, if we take care of business, like we deserved it. We've earned it. And that's all we want. We don't want handouts, right? A couple of our guys said to me yesterday, Coach, go put the ball down in the parking lot. We don't care. Like they just want to go play. And the fact that you get to play elite teams, what an opportunity for us. And it doesn't mean it's going to be easy, man. It's going to take some hard work. And, being a part of championship teams in the past, it means the ball's going to have to bounce the right way at times too, right? Like it takes some good fortune, some good luck, but you want to do so much in your preparation that you can eliminate, those variables, the factors of luck, right? You want to be able to eliminate luck based on the way you prepare, for those moments.
Mm-hmm. After the bracket draw, you were quoted as saying, winning a national championship isn't supposed to be easy. Obviously, you watched the bracket draw with your team. When those first round of games are going on,
we actually didn't watch it with our team.
Excuse me. I apologize. That's bad. That's bad journalism on my part. I apologize, Dan.
No. I just it didn't matter. So I'm just trying to give you the illustration. Like we don't care.
You don't care. Yeah. Play. When that first round of games are going on, are you going to watch it with the team? Are you going to watch it by yourself? Are you going to watch it at all, or just wait for the film to come out? What's your plan on that?
Yeah, we'll practice that morning. So we'll have practice that morning, and then I'll watch it by myself. Our staff will watch it individually by ourselves. And at that point, we'll kind of have a game plan for both teams and try to pick a lane and figure out what's different within that game.
Being a head coach, obviously you're in the playoffs. How do you prioritize or compartmentalize the portal opening up and while also focusing on winning a national title? Because I assume that's got to be stressful with, again, the portal's opening up. You probably have players that might be sneaking around or sniffing around the portal, or you have guys out there that you're wanting to get to Oregon. How do you kind of compartmentalize that and attack those different angles?
Yeah, you have a great organization, right? And I'm really fortunate to have great people here. I mean, we have a personnel department. That's their focus, right? What our roster looks like in the future, and what, becomes available to help our team be better in the future. So I try to make sure that everybody in the organization is farming their land, right? Don't worry about farming somebody else's land. You got a job to do for our team. Make sure you're alert for what your job is. And on top of it, when I ask you a question, you got to be able to fill me in, and we got to be prepared for it. And then I have to be involved in that. Like recruiting is it's an everyday thing in our organization. It's not just a sometimes thing. And part of that's recruiting your own roster, right? Like we've done a really good job building a great roster here. We got great players that I want back that their role's going to grow, in the future. We got great players, that maybe their role's already big and we got to get them back again, to continue that. So way more worried about the team that we already have than what we're going to add, but we want to be able to add the right pieces, and we'll certainly always keep options open for us in the future here.
This question is more of like a curiosity from a recruiting standpoint. When you're flying these players in to the Pacific Northwest and they have to fly into Portland and drive 2 hours down, like what's your selling point? Because a lot of times you hear about guys like, hey, your family can come see you. It's much more difficult to get to Oregon to watch your kids play. How do you combat that with all the traveling?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something you talk about sacrifice. What do you want? Do you want best or you want most convenient? Right? Like if I was picking most convenient, right, I'd be coaching at William Jewell College, right? That's 30 minutes down the road.
Shout out William
Jewell. The same opportunity I get at Oregon, right? So what am I picking? Do I want best or most convenient? Like when you get drafted in the NFL and you get drafted by the Buffalo Bills, guess what? Your ass is going to move to Buffalo, right? That's how it works. So why not challenge yourself early in college to step outside the box, learn what it's like to live away from home, and find something that's a little bit harder? And is that sacrifice worth it? 3 years later, 4 years later, was it worth it going to the best opportunity rather than the easiest opportunity or the most convenient opportunity? Like for me, what matters? Winning, right? Is that higher on your list than convenience? It is for me, right? Like my entire family's from Missouri. We'll figure out how to get them out here for games. And the good news is you can fly into Eugene as well. You don't have to fly into Portland. So it's not supposed to be easy, right? It's not supposed to be easy, but it's worth it. That's the key.
So are you telling us your first one of these playoff games that you'll get the Bussin' with the Boys fellows comp for some tickets?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, here's who handles tickets. I'll send you Sophia's number. That's my wife. I said, don't talk to me about tickets. I don't want to know about tickets. Sophia Lanning is in charge of tickets. But I would love to have you guys sit in the section here. I'll shoot her a text afterwards if you guys want to show up. That'd be awesome.
And then we just sneak on the field in the fourth quarter to celebrate again.
Right.
Whatever it takes. Is that how you guys did it last time? Did you guys like pull a Houdini trick?
No, I mean like you talk about your organization. Like you guys were some of the best hosts that we've had. Like
you
on
would have
campus.
thought we played for Oregon the way they treated us. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, legit. And so we were on the sideline and everything else. So we were able just to be down there. And then when that play happens, it's kind of like we're just moseying on the field because everybody's talking about storming the field. And then you happen to be on my right. I'm like, oh fuck, he's right there. Let's celebrate.
Let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Give me a point of growth. What can we do better when you guys were here? What's something that another school's done better that we haven't done as well?
Fellas, his question. Did you hear his question?
That is a good question.
You're not going to hurt our feelings.
Yeah,
we're growth oriented, man. We want to figure out how we can improve.
If
we
we
need
could,
more lights on our stadium, and stuff,
maybe
fireworks.
if we could go live for pregame in the locker room for your pregame speech, that's probably Because again, I'm sitting here thinking like there's really nothing.
Truly
like you guys had us
rolled out the
well
red
taken care
carpet.
of. Maybe a private jet straight into Eugene.
That'd be nice. Yeah,
flying into Portland.
Right. Some sort of catering before
Yeah.
the game would be good too.
Yeah, some catering.
Yeah.
We'll throw some. We'll
Right.
throw some points.
Yeah, that's a good one, JP. The traffic getting out of the game was hectic.
Police escort. We get a
police escort would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Now we're thinking.
So we're talking about growth oriented. We've got what we have. Now when we come to the playoff game, we'll see what you guys do for us. That'll be.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love it.
I feel like my next question is kind of asking for another thing, and I don't want to pile on. But
just pile on. It's Coach
pile
Lane.
on.
He talked about he's a Missouri boy.
Yeah,
William
Missouri
Julie.
boy.
Shout out
Missouri
to William
boy.
Julie. Yeah. Linebacker.
One of the teams that are also in the college football playoff is ASU. They won the Big 12 after they said they're going to be last in the Big 12. Last year, we did coach their spring game.
Oh, this is a good one.
And you saw how much success they've had. Is there any interest in having two interim head coaches during the Oregon spring game this spring? Something to think about.
Just call a couple plays.
You don't have to answer that now. Maybe since I
No,
maybe
I
have a
love
headset
it.
on.
I saw it. I was wondering if we'd ever get the opportunity to have you guys on our sideline. So we definitely need to visit about this.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me call Zero. Let me call Zero next year.
And here's a thought too. It doesn't have to be me versus Will. Maybe we get another podcast involved and we coach against that podcast.
Maybe.
Possibly the pivot, two bears, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, what we've done here in our past that's been really cool is we bring back alumni to coach, in games. Like we've had LaMichael come back and coach games. Mark, so we love Marcus Mariota. So maybe opposite you guys are some players.
I would love to take down Marcus. I would love to take down Marcus in a spring
We'll holster it. We'll holster it.
Put that in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Let's win a natty, and then we'll revisit.
Revisit.
That will be probably the first text he gets when, hey, congrats on the national championship.
We were talking about the spring game on the podcast, if you remember.
By the way, we like Gulf streams as well when you fly us into Eugene.
Yeah. We'd love to have you here in Nashville and host you on the bus.
Yeah.
I'd love to get on the bus at some point.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if we can ever make that happen.
Yeah.
We'll dial that in. Coach,
good luck, man. We appreciate you for joining the show. Seriously, it's been fucking awesome. It's been awesome watching you guys this year. You're friends of us. You know your boy. Like you've given me hell about the Huskers. Like I don't have a dog in the fight.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You know what the fuck I'm talking about. I lost a bet. We lost to Iowa, so I'm up here. I got to wear George Kittle's helmet. I've had to wear George Kittle's helmet on the episode. Like, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I am rooting for you guys and nothing but success. I hope you guys go fucking win the whole thing, bro.
I ditto for Will. Everything Will just said, I'm the same way. Go Ducks.
Yeah.
Let's have a hell of a couple of games, but let's finish it up strong.
Is the stash coming back, Taylor? It looks like it's starting to come back.
Yeah. We got like that 12-year-old dust just coming up on the upper lip. I'm looking at a couple of guys in the back that have a phenomenal facial hair. If they were in the position I was, they'd already have their mustache back. So it's coming slowly but surely. I appreciate you checking on me in these hard times.
Hey, just trust the process, man. Shout out to the committee too, man. Shout out to the committee.
Hey, shout out to the committee. All love and support to the committee. Love the committee.
All right, I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, brother. See ya.
Shout out the boy Lanning joining the fellas. But before we get into Coach Dillingham, head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, the NFL season is rolling along and the contenders are separating from the pack. The one thing that hasn't changed this season, the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Fade to the corner of the end zone, running back breaks through the line and gallops 60 yards to the score. We don't care how they get them. We want them to bet on touchdowns, and DraftKings is the best place to do it. If you're ready to place your first bet, try betting on something simple like a player scoring a touchdown. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. And here's a reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance of their own. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the app and use code BUS. That's code BUS, B-U-S, for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. And now we will get to the interview with Coach Dillingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce a man that I actually went to high school with. A man that is his partner in crime, Charlie Ragle, who's a special teams coach at the school, picked last to be in the Big 12, has now won the Big 12 championship and has a bye into the college football playoff. Kenny Dillingham, ladies and gentlemen.
Dilly
the Valley. Dude, how are we feeling? You've got to be on cloud 9 right now. When you came in, you wanted ASU to be that fucking team, and you have officially turned them into that fucking team. How does it feel to have that fucking team?
You cried at the press conference.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fired up. I mean, our guys are fired up. I mean, I did cry at my press conference. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
The internet, so the internet lasts forever, just like me arguing with the refs. You know, it never goes away. But no, I'm fired up. I mean, the Valley's fired up. People are juiced up around here about ASU football. And I mean, the reality is there's not many better places to live in the country than Phoenix, Arizona. So if we can create a good product, we can prove that we can develop people and win a lot of football games. I mean, hot damn.
You got to have a nice chip on your shoulder knowing that when you came from the Pac-12 into the Big 12 that you guys were projected last in the conference this year. And then to have the season you've had, win the Big 12 championship, that has to feel incredible. Is that something you've taken time to think about?
Yeah, I mean, it's just wild, to be honest. Like when we weren't picked like 15th or like 14th or like 13th. We were picked like 16th.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even close. Like the margin of where we were to even be 15th in terms of votes, it was like significantly 16th. And it's so it's a testament to our guys, man. Our guys have a chip on their shoulder. They play with a chip on their shoulder. Like they play like dudes that have something to prove. I said earlier in the year, we're a bunch of misfits and underdogs thrown into freaking Paradise City. And they've managed to make it one of the best seasons in ASU history.
In ASU history, we a couple years ago when we coached your spring game, I got to watch on the opposing team a young white running back run all over my squad for a little bit, not knowing he was about to take the world by storm. Young Scattaboo. He was in his press conference after the game saying he should be a Heisman guy, whatever NFL team drafts him is getting a gem. What do you have to say about a guy like that speaking that bluntly at a press conference? A lot of coaches like their guys to be more vanilla, say, hey, just yes, sir, no, sir type of answers. But this guy's saying, hey, I should be a Heisman candidate here. I should be a guy that should possibly be taking home that hardware.
Yeah, I want my guys to be them. I don't want my guys to be cookie cutter. I want my guys to be who they are, right? And hopefully they're respectful enough to not say absolutely crazy things. But for him to have confidence in himself, to believe he's the best running back in the country, would I want him to think he's not? I mean, are you kidding me? I want the dude who thinks he's the best player in the country and he's the most disrespected dude in the country, because that's what makes him great, is he plays with a chip on his shoulder every day. Is he shows up, he wakes up out of bed with a chip on his shoulder. He shows up, a little bit crazy. His hair's out of control, shows up at the team meeting room like he's about to get after it. Let's just say every single day. He's just one of those guys you're like, oh my gosh, like what happened to him? And it just repeat. And that's how he plays. So I support it. I think he should be there in New York. I think he's 100% one of the guys who should finish in the top 5 for the Heisman. I mean, look what he's done, not only for the statistics of what he's done. Look how he's changed and partly changed a team that was picked 16th to winning. It's not just what he does on the field. It's the culture and the freaking juice that he brings every single day, which is why we're winning.
How was your Saturday shaking up? Obviously, you guys beat the brakes off of Iowa State. Are you sitting there without a worry in the world that you guys are going to get that bye game? Or are you watching the Clemson SMU game unfold? And then when it ended the way it did, are you thinking, hey, we might have just got ourselves a bye week?
Yeah, well, people still don't think we're very good. So, and that's how it should be. So I was sitting there, saying we need Clemson to win to get the bye because, I don't think enough people have watched how hard our guys play, the complementary football they play with, the physicality that they play with, to really know who we are. We're still kind of this team that's like, oh, wow, that's cute. They're there. And that's great. That's where I want to be. I want to be in there. So we were definitely waiting. Us and the staff were out at the Mission. I don't know if you guys remember that, the Mission, the Mexican restaurant in Old Town Scottsdale, right? We were out there watching the game, and we were going crazy when he made that 57-yard kick. I think we may send, Coach Sweeney like a gift basket or something over there to him.
You talked about you going viral on the internet never dies. One thing that was just electric this year is you guys having a fan base storm the field twice. And what was the process like seeing the ref say, hey, we're going to put one more second back on the clock, getting all of those fans off, seeing the video of a fan actually sitting in the blue tent of BYU. Do you see that clip? The kid he's an ASU fan sitting in a blue tent, BYU's blue tent, waiting to restorm the field. What was that 10 minutes like waiting for one more play that they actually almost scored on? I was going to say,
they caught the ball.
They caught the ball. Like they were 2 yards away from winning.
I mean, it was like being it wasn't real. Like, we're like, whoa, the game ended. There's 30,000 people I'm having people jumping on my back. My security we're gone. My wife is on the field giving me a kiss for winning the game. And then they're like, oh no, one more. And I'm like, I have no clue where to even begin here. I don't even know where we start. How do we clear the field? How do we get them back? Is there going to be 30,000 15-yard penalties for too many guys in the field? I don't know the rules for this. And it was just a surreal moment. And but when you look back at this season of just craziness, from 16th, from worst to first, what's that song? Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, right? And when you look back at that, is there any other thing that could have happened than for the second time this year, a second to be put back on the clock? Because it happened to us in Texas State as well. It was the second time in 1 year we had a second added to the clock. And what else could you want than absolute craziness in a year like this?
Taylor, what you got?
So in the
I had one. I just didn't know what you.
No,
I didn't know if you were
I was
having.
looking for my next question. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask once I get my train of thought back. What is your message like in the locker room after that game? What is your message like to the team that now that you've had a couple days to see the bracket shake up like it has? I'm sure you got a bunch of hungry dogs just ready to play whoever it is. How have you angled all of your messaging with the guys, especially since you also have portal season coming up?
Yeah, well, one, we've had a lot of our exit interviews with our guys, probably 50% of our guys just explaining what it's going to look like for next year and having really transparent conversations because of the portal, even with guys like, hey, do you want to play or do you want to be on the team? What are you looking for? I don't see you playing here. So if you do want to play college football, let us help you find a spot where we think you can play at. You can stay on the team if you want, finish the season out. But I want to help you find another spot if that's what you're looking to do. So we've had all those conversations. The one thing about me with our guys is it's about as transparent as you can get. There's no really sugarcoating things. Like I'll sit in a meeting room and call it out as in front of a team. I'll sit one-on-one with you and have really transparent conversations. So I think for us, it's the same message of, we're sitting there having an unbelievable moment as a team, something that hasn't happened here in a long time. And then people are saying, man, these teams lucked out because they get to play Arizona State in the second round. Like that, if that doesn't bother you, if you don't work your butt off to go from 16th to first in a conference and you're listening in this moment that you're going to remember forever and people are talking about how, people got a good draw because they get to play you, and that doesn't inspire you to get back to work, I don't know what does.
How are some of those conversations? Like, just as far as like transparency goes, like you guys have a hell of a year that you do. There's obviously talent on your football team, and some of that talent is now in a spot to where maybe they want to hit the portal to go to a bigger or a prettier school,
or make
like,
more money.
Yeah, or make more money. Like, what are those? Put us, if you can, whatever you can tell us, put us in that office on having those conversations, because I'm sure they're being had. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's different with every kid because of the transparency. There's so much fake out there with all this money right now that I just have really transparent conversation. Hey, you're probably not going to play on Sundays, or I think you're a back end of the draft guy if you come back. Anybody who promises you more money than this dollar amount is just full of crap. They're just lying to you. Or hey, you're going to get offered way more money by somebody else to leave. I already know it. Like, you're a high level dude. Do you want to be here? And I think the crazy part about this football team is every kid I've met with has said, I want to be here. Like, coach, I love it here. Nobody could get me to leave. Now, I'm also aware that at the end of the day, money talks at some point. And so I'm not naive to that conversation, but our guys want to be here. I mean, it's 65 degrees outside right now, and it's blue skies. Like, our kids are in paradise here. We're not miserable. I have a massage chair in my office that our starting safety comes and sits in, even if I'm not in here, right? We have a basketball hoop in our team meeting room, which we play horse and pig before every single team meeting. We have a lot of fun winning. And isn't that the goal of life?
Right.
To enjoy it? Yeah, you can do all this other stuff. If you're miserable your entire life in the process, I don't care how much money you have, you're gonna be miserable. We have a lot of fun winning a lot of games right now.
What are your what would be a move from you? Say you have a good kid who wants to stay there and he is getting offered a lot more money elsewhere. Are you taking that conversation? Are you going to the NIL collective? Like, are you trying to have meetings with other people to try and make it all work and happen? Like, give an example of
I definitely educate people on what's happening for sure. I can't be involved directly with NIL conversations. That's just NCAA rule, but I can definitely inform people of the market for both sides.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of like, that's just so weird rules right now. But I definitely inform people like, listen, this guy's getting offered a lot more from another school right now, and inform the people and go from there. But I know it's crazy times, but the fact that our team they're still focused on winning through all of this mess. And that's what's different about our guys. Our guys just want to win. Like, they truly want to win football games. That's their priority. And that's rare in today's day and age, in my opinion.
In the Big 12 championship game in the second half, you guys are up. I believe it was 45-7. Your nickel, Shamari Simmons, comes off the edge and absolutely puts a beautiful, in my opinion, a textbook hit on the quarterback. He's called for targeting there and is ejected from the game. Is there an appeal process that you can go through to get him in the game when your bye is over and all that? Because it seemed, just watching it back over and over again, like, yeah, the crown of his helmet does hit the under the face mask. However, it's like his face is up, quarterback's face is up. No one's like in a position to be injured from where their spine would be. How do you go about that process?
Yeah, I've already talked to the commissioner of the league. I've already talked to the head of football for the league, and then we are filing an appeal. He came off the edge and I asked him about it. He said he literally saw the quarterback looking the other direction. So he went through it in his head in those spurt moments. Keep your head up so we don't get targeting. Like, he said he consciously did that. And you can see right at the end, the quarterback turns his head because he notices Shamari coming, and he ducks a little bit, which actually is what caused his face mask to hit the neck area, right? So, I think that's a decision that they got to make from their team or whatever, whoever makes those decisions on what it is. But it would be really unfortunate for a senior to have his head up, to go to make a play like that, to be the worst team in the league, and now you win the league, to have a chance to play one of your last college football games in your career, and that play take away half of that.
Right.
College football is about the players. We should not take away a half of a moment that he should have for the rest of his life due to that play. I think it's close enough that it could be called either way, that I think it should lean towards allowing that kid to play.
I agree with you. Is there any part of you that watches that unfold and you're thinking, I should have sat him. I should have had him on the bench since we're just mopping these boys out here.
There is. That was actually our last drive. So that was his last play. If that would have gotten us off the field, because that was still the third quarter.
Yeah.
That was going to be his last
quarter.
play,
I thought
which
it was
is
the fourth.
even worse.
Yeah, it makes it.
like,
Hey,
oh.
defense, it's your last drive. You guys handle business out here. You guys are done for the rest of the game.
Basically, your championship
Correct.
game is a preseason
Yeah,
game. Hey,
yeah.
we're getting guys out of here arresting. When you look at who
Yeah.
could be playing next, Clemson or Texas, and you have this vision of Texas to Tempe, PCU kind of wants Texas right now to stop them in the ground. That way you start getting those recruits, isn't it?
I'm not going to lie. A lot of our guys are from Texas. So, that's exciting for them from that perspective. I really don't care who we play. Either way, we're going to be not favored. We're probably going to be double-digit underdogs in either team versus either squad. So, double-digit underdogs, across the country. We were close to getting a game in the Fiesta Bowl. Instead, we got a game almost as far away as possible, an unbelievable game in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, where it's going to be an away game and as the underdogs. So I'm excited. Our guys, there's something about our guys that's different, and that's what excites me. And I'll say this, it goes back, it all stems from one moment. I really believe it. I think it all stems from our first spring game and the motivational speeches that were given in that game by the two head coaches were transformative, that it was not something that was going to change that season, but something that was going to change a program in the future. And it dates back to those two speeches.
Foundational
I love it.
blocks.
And people have no
Foundational
clue what we're talking about. We'll go ahead and run these for you.
Man, I took this job for one reason. That reason is about to be explained in about 60 minutes. We're gonna win this fucking game in 3 areas. We're gonna air raid the fuck out of them. Coach talked about tempo. Bombs over fucking Baghdad. Turnovers. And when we get turnovers, run, hit, talk shit. We're gonna talk shit. We're gonna have fun, and we gotta win in the fucking trenches. I'm hearing rumors we're a little light in the ass up front. Hey, but have fun out there. One thing I want to talk about, we need energy all game. We need an hour of your time. Trust me, I know you guys want to chase ass. We all do. 7-minute quarters, 4 quarters, and I need the whole sideline up the entire time. The first time we score, the entire fucking sideline is going to celebrate in the end zone. Everybody celebrate. Guys, we're going to whoop these teams' ass, and when we do, we're going to take their women, we're going to drink their beer. We're going to give them hey, and we're going to show them how to play 4 quarters of fucking football.
Boys, how you doing? First off, I'm Taylor, the one from Arizona. We're playing out. He has the gold team playing Will. Fuck Will's team. They give me this dinky ass call sheet. Fuck this call sheet. A couple times, I'm gonna find out who the playmakers are in the first couple series. One day I'm gonna look at y'all and say, do what the fuck you want. Yeah. Let's go win this game. Yeah. All right? That's how much Will Compton's house costs. Listen, there's 3 types of players. There's bad players who do not know the fucking rules. There's good players who know the rules, and there's fucking us, the ones that use the rules to their advantage. Find out where you can get away with it and do business as business is being done. Let's have a fucking day. Run that fucking scorecard up, and if we have a chance to go for 2, we're going for 2 and go for by 21 points. Yeah,
And
we'll
are
run
back.
those clips for you.
Yeah, we'll run those clips for you.
You got anything else?
No,
I just want.
yeah.
The only thing I want to do is check in on my boy Regal. How's Regal doing, man? Is he just fired up beyond belief? Put a couple back the other day, having a great time.
Fired up. I may have to have him tell the story about his dog chasing the tennis ball.
Yes.
A pregame speech.
That would be top 3.
Gave you.
It was unbelievable, man. We were actually going back and forth about if we crossed paths at Chaparral, but you ended up getting. Were you hurt? Your senior year, you hurt, and then I came in after your senior season was over, and you were coaching JV and all that. Man, it's so awesome to see where you came from and what you're doing now, and the fact that ASU finally has a guy that truly wants to be there and not as a stepping stone. It's awesome. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Arizona and all you guys, man.
I appreciate it.
There are a couple question marks about your ACL tear. A lot of your 17-year career in coaching stemmed because you tore your ACL. Is that because you were playing or because you were just a student? Just to clear that up. Just to clear that up for everybody out there.
I was playing, but there's levels of playing. I would consider myself participating. You know what I mean? I know playing's the best word. I mean, I was participating at that point on the team, not really playing. And it actually happened playing like, I don't know what it was, like pick up basketball or something in the offseason. It didn't even happen playing football.
Oh, that's brutal.
That is tough.
Fucking
That is
basketball,
tough,
man. Fucking basketball.
Ruins people. What
ruins people?
Sherm, what are you saying?
Go ahead, say it on the mic, Sherm.
Are we running it back with the spring game?
Oh, Sherm, are we running it back for the spring game?
I mean, if the boys want to make it happen, I think we should do a boys versus somebody else challenge. The boys versus another pod or another group, and I think we should have a duel out there.
I love it.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
with
that idea.
We'll go ahead and pencil that in now.
We'll have those combos. We'll have those
done.
combos after the playoff. Once you get into the off season, trust us, we will be in that group chat.
Focus on now, and then we will talk to you the minute it's all over.
Sounds great.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Good luck. I'm excited
luck,
for you
man.
guys, man. This is awesome.
Appreciate it. Go Devils.
Yeah, go Devils. Forks up, boys. Forks up.
Activate the valley.
Yeah.
It's been activated.
Oh no! Separate your fingers, Will.
Oh, sorry.
That's a shocker. Yeah, you gotta.
I got horny for a second. I'm 1 month postpartum right now.
You said activate the valley. That was your whole thing. Activate the valley. It feels like the valley's activated. What's the next thing? What's the next shirt? The next slogan?
National
That
champions.
is the slogan. Keep it at like let's rock. Like I don't know. Activating continued.
Continue to activate the valley.
Slogan. I made that up in the middle of my speech, and then people were like, "This is great." I didn't prepare for that. That just kind of happened.
That's awesome.
So.
That is awesome.
All right, Coach.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, we'll see you later.
See ya. Yeah, 2 legends, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out you for getting that done. Sunday night text. Hey, this might be happening.
I mean, bro, we're in, not the flex, but we'll be sitting there in group chats with them.
Yeah, might as well.
You got Coach Lanning asking why you had to shave your mustache.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dillingham, obviously he's your boy. We got the coach of that spring game, and they're sitting there on in this moment. Obviously, they have much to accomplish, and they're focused on doing that. But as a fan, you're sitting there, they're like, man, they're on top of the mountain right now, winning the Big 10, winning the Big 12.
Yeah, it's
Let's
awesome.
see if they'll just join the boys on the next episode.
And it would be sick to coach in those spring games.
2 of the youngest coaches.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
A lot of juice, man. I was fascinated too. Like, I don't know all the intricacies of like the NIL and the legal stuff, what he can and can't do. But as he's sitting there talking through, I'm like, yeah, it does. Like you're sitting there, the portal's opening, the window's open until like late December. Yeah. You're trying to prepare to win a national title. And I'm sure you're still having conversations. Like you could have a good kid who wants to stay there. They would want to figure it out. It's like, I wonder how those conversations unfold. You know what I mean?
And it's interesting when just the way Dillingham talks, you can just see the absolute gray area in the Wild West of the NIL being like, I can educate people.
Right. I can give
basically,
information.
he can't say we need to get this guy more money, but he can tell the right people, hey,
right.
He's being offered this. Do what you want with that information.
Yeah. Because I'm sure you're going to get some kids who either aren't playing, they're going to go to the portal, and they're going to go elsewhere where he's being transparent with them. There might be some kids that's a little or they might feel slighted some way, and they might be talented players that they're probably going to go hit the portal. You got some kids that are wanting to stay and figuring out how to stay. Like, let me just get a little bump here, a little bump, because it's so transactional now in the college football.
So transactional.
It's nuts.
I could see them having a lot of kids transfer. This isn't disrespectful, but laterally, like teams that are that same level, but they're like, I like what's going on there. That we're
right.
going to go to ASU.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
It's a lateral.
Just nothing, not ASU.
Right.
And Dillingham's right. Like ASU is a school that no one's looking at that logo and shaking in their boots when they think about football. And he's got a chance to make a massive statement that second round of the playoffs because they probably are going to open up as double-digit underdogs against whether it's Clemson or Texas.
Yeah, if you have a lower, like a not as good Big team or not as good SEC team, you might be like, shit, I'll go to ASU, win Big 12s, play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
And some of these schools are like, not like stepping stones, but ultimately it's like, hey, if you want to get to the bigger show, it's like if you're in the Mountain West on a Boise or one of those teams in that conference, and then you want to move up to a Big 12. Like there's so much going on. Like I was talking to a coach recently, and this is outside of the Nebraska world, but from a prominent brand, a prominent school that basically says like the moment the season ends and you go into these exit meetings, like it's ultimately like, hey, here's my price to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like, you know, when you would go in after a season in college, like I remember you're sitting with your position coach, then you go and sit with the coordinator, you go and sit with the head coach, and you're talking to all of them about things that you can get better on and where you want to see improvement, things to attack in the offseason. And you're trying to look at your development as a player and how you're going to take the next step the next year. Now it's like those conversations don't even take place. It's more of like the kids are walking into the office, having an exit meeting.
Yeah.
It's like,
With
here's
a
what I'm
bill
being
in their
told.
hands.
Here's
Like,
what my agent's telling me. Here's what we got to get to make it work, which is I do not envy being a college coach from that standpoint, because there's no cap. There's no actual free agency. It's like the portal opens, your guys either go in or they don't. They got people in their ear from every different angle, whether it's agent, family, anybody, friend, just saying, maybe it's a player from another school and say, hey, Taylor, I'm hearing over here in Nebraska, like we could get you, you know, this left tackle's getting $500,000. So I'm hearing that we can get you like $750,000.
Yeah.
And you're over there at Michigan. This could be just fucking DMs.
Just
Then all of a sudden you're going into your coach's room kind of saying that, just hearsay, and you're trying to posture it. No, I'm hearing that I can get this. It might not even be from a credible source. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just nuts.
And it just sucks too, because like, what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years after NIL's fully taken place, and you haven't been able to kind of get on these kids about development, about like their skill level,
Right.
and what they need to work on and stuff like that? Because are we going to see maybe it go downhill a little bit as far from like a skill standpoint, because you're not there shaping all those tools all the time?
Right.
Maybe the NFL will be affected by this, because if you're Dan or Dilly and you're talking to these kids, like there has to be a level of like, you have to be hard on people as well when you want them to grow. And some of these kids are just seeing a dollar sign, and if you're going to be hard on them, they're like, well, I can get more money and this coach is an asshole, when the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Right.
It's just, such a crazy world.
Do you think there's a chance that it could plateau after the 4 or 5 years, probably longer, where kids are not, you know, right now it's how can I get it and get it now quick? Do you think that burns out after a while? It's like, okay, like I'm getting money, but I still want to play and win. Like I don't want to just play to collect money. You think that some point?
I don't think that's the answer.
Plateau.
Here's what I really think is going to happen with NIL. There is going to be a massive scandal in the next 3 to 5 years about NIL and how things are going, how like these gray areas are kind of like being like the boundaries are being pushed.
There's no regulation.
There's really no regulation. Something significant is going to happen in NIL, and that's what's going to cause everyone to kind of sit back. Okay, we need to make a committee on this thing, an NCAA type of thing. There's going to be a cap. There's going to be these rules. There's this period, then there's that period, and there's going to be more of a structure similar to NFL free agency.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just sit there and be like, you could get this much in the middle of October. You have to wait till these periods, and there's even a tampering period that you can have in the NFL.
Right.
But there's going to be clear-cut rules after some crazy scandal comes out. You know, or something happened, and then we look back at it and we found like a Reggie Bush type of situation where they're like, you hear this happened, and because of that, all this changes. That's what I think is going to happen with NIL.
Jack, you were going to say something earlier?
Breaking news, unrelated to this, Derrick Henry has cut his dreads off.
What the? Whoa!
Yeah, swear to God, go to our Instagram. I just posted the video of it. But he still has like cornrows, but he cut like a good foot of dreads off.
The playoff arc's going to be crazy.
Yeah. He's got so much faster.
Oh my word!
That's kind of tough.
Dang.
A new King Henry.
I remember when he
Bro,
was,
Will,
like,
you should
missing
do that.
college, bro.
I don't know
Will,
what to think.
why don't you get that cut?
I wanted to wait until you are done with this talk. So like, this
That's
guy, like,
crazy.
shook.
The braids are
Dude, R.I.P. the bee sting, the bumblebee.
I know, bro.
Man, that's crazy. Good for him.
Lamar. He and Lamar have that same like.
We'll see if it helps
That's
him.
the influence. That's the influence.
It's a gift or a curse. You see Kyler Murray right now 0-3 since that new map dropped on Black Ops 6.
Need the graphic.
Coop.
Coop.
And to your point, 2G, on like stuff plateauing, I don't think players will necessarily know it until you have enough data on guys, whether they made it to the NFL, they didn't make it to the NFL. You have underclassmen making substantially more than guys who have cut their teeth into the locker room. Like all that stuff will work out to where eventually I do think that there will be some type of cap. Almost like there has to be. You see Bielema coming out being like, hey, with the money we spend a quarter of what some of these other teams spend. Like if we're able to spend that amount of money, it's like some of these teams are like the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking about Ohio State, all the money they've spent, the money that all the guys,
The money
at the
that
very
Michigan's
top,
going to spend.
that Michigan's
about
going to spend. I mean,
Michigan will probably be number one in NIL next year.
but you also we're just on Zoom with Coach Dan Lanning. He's got what's his name, Phil Knight. They got
Phil Knight
Nike
just-
money, like
but Phil Knight came out and said, spend whatever you want.
whatever it takes. Yeah.
That is crazy.
It'll be nuts.
Nice.
It'll work itself out at some point, but right now it does seem like
Yeah.
that's just hell having to recruit all
Crazy.
year round.
Michigan's
These
got
young
a
cats.
Illinois alumni fucking paying the bills now. It's just crazy.
Big boost, that guy.
Yeah, what is his name? He's the second richest person in the world, right?
Larry Ellison.
Larry Ellison. That's the kid that paid for Bryce Underwood.
Oh,
He's an
yeah.
Illinois alumni, but his girlfriend or wife is a Michigan alumni. And she told Dave, she goes, oh yeah, because she went to school when I went to school.
Yeah.
She goes, I've been through the Brady Hoke era, and I never want to go through that again. And catching a low-key stray, all good, but isn't that just wild?
Speaking of young girls, you think Bill Belichick the head coaching job at North Carolina?
I love that transition.
There's
Who
no
knows?
way, dude.
If he takes that, is there a chance Vrabes takes Ohio State? If
I think there's a bigger chance that Vrabel takes Ohio State than Bill Belichick coaches in college. Actually, no, I take that back. I think there's a better chance of Vrabel working out at Ohio State than Bill Belichick working out at North Carolina.
I know this. Vrabel is not opposed to a head coaching college job. However, if some of these coaches that we're talking about, like Vrabel, Belichick, if there's like, if you're on the,
What you know that I don't?
the carousel, they get a job offer in the NFL, I think NFL is obviously the move. But I don't think these coaches who are out of it right now, if they don't get an NFL opportunity, what I'm hearing, what I've heard, these coaches are not opposed to a head coaching job in college
Ray
football.
will be at Army, Navy, or the Citadel. Those are the only places he's going to be able to fit in with his style.
You think so?
I don't think. Do you think he wants to play the game of college football?
I mean, if you go into it, I was saying it on either whether it was last week or the week before. If Vrabel's like all in on like going to any of these coaches, if they're all in on coaching college football, they obviously a big part of them is going to have to want to play that game. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's a structure. You could put a structure in place too of like having people do most of the recruiting, and then hey, these are the big dogs. You go. The big dogs come to you and you
like
talk to
Ryan
them.
Day is not the most charismatic.
Right,
guy,
but he gets like
but he
the
gets all
best
the
recruiting
players.
classes
Right,
every
that's
year.
true.
Money's gonna talk. Listen, let me tell you something. As it stands right now, Ohio State might never beat Michigan again. If Vrabel goes to Ohio State, they're automatically a tough ball club.
he's gonna be your daddy for real. Oh.
He just whispered that. No one heard it. Go ahead and say it so the viewer can hear that.
If Vrabel goes to Ohio State and just flips the script, he will be your daddy forever.
Listen,
JP facts. As
Vrabel
a
goes to
fan,
Ohio State,
I
Lord,
would love to see
That would
that.
be awesome.
As a fan, I would love to see that.
I would hate it.
So we had Tony White.
How about the group chat with Vrabes on Sunday?
Yeah,
Just
I'll wake
crazy.
up in the morning and Taylor's just catching a stray at like what 3 or 4 a.m.
It was 4 a.m. I was going through TSA in Vegas.
Yeah,
And it's a photo of me pushing Dan Lanning,
celebrating with
and he
Lanning.
just says, "Wish Taylor blocked like this when he was with the Titans."
He just said
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
What was the follow-up message?
I said, "Go ahead and focus on the Steelers." And he said, "Consultant."
And then you were saying it was something about him being up early
Yeah, what did
because it was like 4:30 or something.
I'm
I guess why are you
I'll drop this
Yeah.
screenshot when this episode drops. But
Yeah, no, that shit was hilarious.
that shit was. I look at Jack and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And just showed him.
We had Tony White, the defensive coordinator for Nebraska. He's going to Florida State with like T. Knight, Terrence Knight, who was the D-line coach. Awesome coaches. And so, I'm sitting there the other night and I just text old Coach Bo Pelini. I was like, hey, would you ever come back to Nebraska and be the defensive coordinator?
What do you say?
Yeah, do what?
Oh yeah. Hey, this is the text. Wish Taylor could have blocked like this for the Titans. ... Insane 4 a.m. text. Vrabel. Wolves don't sleep. And that's what I said. Let's focus on the Steelers.
Yeah.
He said consultant. And then I just left it. And then at 8:30, Will with 3 cry laughy faces, just body bagging me.
He's like, well, I hope you're. What did he say? I hope you're laughing at my joke. And I'm like, yeah, Coach. All your jokes are funny, sir. Don't patronize me, motherfucker.
God damn it! I hate Mike Vrabel. Go ahead, game time.
Yeah, game time. Let's get into the Gilly Gilly's going to be joining us he's going to be joining us on the bus. We'll talk all things surviving and Gilly and $1 million worth of game. Before we get there, Game Time. This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is focused on togetherness this holiday season. And when you bring people together at live events, the experience is that much better, and it's the perfect gift. You know how much the boys love Game Time, and now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Go check out. Listen, the college football playoff is taking place. Go check out those tickets. All you have to do is pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT pick setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. That would be an awesome holiday gift. The college football playoff starts that weekend, right after Christmas. Go check it out. Tickets now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BUSSIN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, just create an account and redeem code BUSSIN, BUSSIN, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time!
Enjoy this episode with Gilly.
All right, boys. Third part of the episode today. We had Dan Lanning. We had Kenny Dillingham. Now we have Wallo and Gillie.
Yes.
The collab nobody saw coming.
I didn't even know Wallo was going to be.
Yeah, we had notes for Gilly.
I had to come for Will, man.
Well, Gilly almost did that twice.
Pull that mic.
Yeah, I had to come. You know, me and Will. A lot of people don't know when Will first was coming to Barstool. Will was like, he called me. He was like, Wallo, what do you think about Bar? What's up with him? I said, it's a great fucking place. Come on.
He called me too. He was like, what should I do? I was like, bro, it's just like Tampa 2 defense, bro.
Dude, when we guys first started walking in, obviously the subject of conversation was Surviving Barstool. Wow, they got you.
They got me, but listen, you know what's crazy? Fucking Will. I know Will. So I'm like, damn, Will got, because I don't know nothing about, I don't know shit about the alliances. I'm just thinking if you perform, you're a great player, they're gonna keep you. Your energy is good. My energy, I'm positive. I'm with the team. I'm talking to everybody on the, when we got the challenges, and I feel as though I'm working my ass off. But when I go to the bathroom, I'm like, I remember I go to the bathroom, I'm like, yeah, we getting mints out of here, Will. Will just looked at it. He said mints. But I didn't connect the dots. I didn't connect the dots. I'm
Will
like,
finesse you.
Will like mints. He like mints. He said it like that too. And I'm sitting there knew like, but I'm thinking like, what the fuck is mints really going to do here and help us with the challenges? Because I'm thinking about the more we win, the more our group stay there and we can battle it out at the end. That's how I'm thinking the game will be played. I'm not thinking we want to be weak so we can't win challenges and we got to keep. So I didn't know the strategy. I didn't know nothing. And I just definitely didn't think that Smitty was going to get kicked off.
So when you got sniped, when they voted you off, did you know it was coming?
There's no way in the world. I said to myself, I just knew Mintz was out of here, right? I don't know. I never knew, like, you understand. I don't know his relationships. I ain't know his significant to the company. I don't know. So I'm like, he got to be out of here. Cause I know, listen, I'm not even thinking that I'm out of here. Cause I'm like, I just ran up all these steps, came down first. Tommy John draws loaded up. I put all the balls on the table. I got down. I'm talking about, it was crazy. The whole time, Ron and them playing dirty, because when I run up the steps, I'm running up with a whole other team. On my team, I think, Will, you went over that way.
Right.
I'm running up. Ron and them is blocking me from running up the steps. So I got to run.
Shout out my teammate Rome.
He blocking me. He like, Wallo, what you doing? I'm like, they blocking me. His team, they like blocking. So I had to push through them, get upstairs, grab all the balls. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, yeah, I earned my spot. I came back down first, loaded the day. The whole time, big cat in them there. I'm like, yeah, everybody see me. I know I'm locked in. That's why you got to think about it. From running up and down that steps, you know that shit was a workout.
Yeah.
I'm sweating like crazy.
Talking about motherfuckers that did 3 a days.
Yeah, you 3 days, but whatever. I'm saying to myself, Will, I'm like, what? I got to get to the shower first. There's only one shower in the building.
It was crazy watching, because when people win and lose, like everyone just goes in their huts, and I'm watching him back, seeing you go to the shower. I'm thinking to myself, this man.
Right after losing. It's like, losing, everybody's kind of tight. Like, how are we going to figure out who we're going to?
Because we came back and won that challenge. So we're hanging out. We're chilling.
You know what I should have asked? You know what?
And then Wallo gets up. I'm gonna go take a shower, and we're all kind of laying there. I'm thinking,
no.
I'm thinking I gotta wait and see. Like, I could get gone. I could get got on this one.
Right.
But somebody alluded to it. He's like, did he just go take a shower? And it's like, you gotta kind of feed that.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. He's going to take a shower.
Yeah, this was crazy though. I get voted off, right? Like 2 days later, I'm in this breakfast spot getting some sandwiches. Right? Guy walk up to me, Wallo, what's up? You know who it was? What's his name? The first survivor over the real Survivor show.
The first survivor?
The first.
Richard Hatch.
No, what's his name? What was the black guy name? What's the black guy name?
I don't know.
Black Survivor winner.
No. He wasn't the winner. He was on it. He was on the first Survivor ever.
Black first
Say their
Survivor
name.
ever.
When you
That's
look
the
up their
Google
names,
for those of
tell
you
me
wondering
this-
why I'm just saying
He
these
walked
words.
up to me. He say, Wallo, what's up? What's the name from Survivor? I know this guy. You know who I'm talking about too. He from Jersey. I'm like, damn. And I'm just like, why I didn't know you before.
This guy right here?
Yup. Oh yeah, right.
Peterson.
Gervais Peterson.
Gervais.
I know, I was looking at that first name too, like, what the fuck?
So I see him and I'm like, how the fuck do this work like that? I get voted off Survivor Barstool and I walk right into him. And the brother, and we started talking and that third, and I'm like,
y'all both were surviving losers. The guy
Yeah,
was like,
let
let me let these losers bump into each other.
listen. So I'm just like, but I'm like, I ain't gonna front. When they kept saying Wallo, I'm like, everybody got me. So I'm thinking like, who the fuck didn't get me, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, I get a motherfucking, as I'm leaving, I'm going to the plane. I get a text in the Uber. What's his name? From Big Cat. I didn't vote for you, Wallo. I voted for Mincy.
Oh, just
I
saving
said,
face.
ooh.
Disgusting. Despicable, that Big Cat.
He texted me. I'm like, oh man. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, damn, okay. Well, I said, Will got me? Not Will. I thought Will did, because I'm trying to figure out only one, it was like one person that didn't vote for me. Because I was lost and I'm like, what fucking plan is I'm on? I thought I was good for playing good.
Did you? At what point did
That
you
was
text
Big
Will?
Cat.
No, did you text Will?
No,
and be
he
like,
never texted me.
Oh, he didn't.
I ain't text Will. No,
so you
because,
guys are just this is
because
right now.
you gotta understand this. It's a game to me. It's not personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to play the game because like when we got in the game, our whole thing was, me and Gil, whole thing is we giving our $250,000 to our cameraman, our two cameramen, and some people at Barstool that played the game. I'm talking about an aspect is like that's the plan. You know what I mean? So I'm like, when I got kicked off, I'm like, damn, Gil got to stay. So to see Gil still there,
Elevating.
it was just
glowing
like,
and growing.
It was just like, bet he got it. Because I'm like,
I got it.
Because I'm like, they're unstoppable. They keep winning the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they got a fucking monster team, and I'm looking at our teams like we all. Listen, I'm looking at like we all athletic. We got this. I'm looking at it from a sport. I'm looking at it from a sports perspective.
Murdered.
We got guys that's athletic and what's
How did it feel to be stuck in prison?
We were stuck in prison.
I didn't mind it.
Oh, shit.
Will does like he moves like that.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Just being in the barracks with the fellas.
Yeah,
I didn't mind
crazy.
it.
That's some locker room shit.
It was
bro.
crazy.
Yeah, build the chemistry, build the camaraderie.
He can't. Sometimes when you play 11,000 football games in your whole life, it's nothing like a day with the boys. Oh,
that shit was crazy.
No doubt about it.
That was crazy.
No doubt about it. And hey, when we lost our first challenge, you thought you were gone. You
I
were
thought I
shaking
was
hands.
done.
You were going behind.
Yeah,
Throwing the runners
talk-
being like, "Yo, what's up?"
I thought I was done.
Yeah, talk about because I feel like the camera left off stuff on the strategy to get Jerry out because Jerry was like a big player. He's a big character in the game.
Right.
Then all of a sudden he got sniped. I feel like some of the
I
storytelling
love
got
Jerry.
left out.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be from like just our point of views. I know that the girls had some point in it too. What I didn't find out, did you watch the episode?
Yes.
So when I didn't know Roan was as close with Jerry during the show as watching it
No,
after
I
the show. I had
didn't know
no
that
idea
either.
Roan and him were close. I knew Jerry called everybody,
Yes.
but one thing happened is I heard Jerry called like 20 people.
He
Jerry
called
didn't-
me.
He didn't call me. And then before the
He
first
called 20 people.
yes.
And he didn't think people was going to talk, Jerry.
Isn't that crazy?
No,
Jerry.
because Jerry told you we got to make alliances
Yeah.
right now.
I thought all
Me
that was
and you,
bullshit.
Gilly.
Crazy.
You're from Philly. I'm from Jersey. We're East Coast guys, Gilly. I'm like, what? He don't understand. I didn't know the experience before now. So I'm on the phone. I'm like, what the fuck is Jerry talking about? Like,
My whole thing is like,
I low key got there. I was like, Jerry's crazy. Like, he's fucking crazy.
And dude,
like,
the first challenge, he was walking around like he really was a mob boss.
Yeah.
We go to the first challenge, and he literally leans
What'd
back
he
to me.
say to you?
He goes, "You do good. You're in." What? He said it to me. This is before the first challenge when y'all got stuck in the
Jerry.
cage.
I love this
When y'all
guy.
got stuck in the cage, and so we ended up winning. But after, I was saying to myself, bro, he really thinks he's just running the show. And then him and Kirk were kind of always talking. And then, but Jerry would always be in y'all's group and then the Pizza Tribe. And so I mentioned it to Kelly and Moobs. And they were, because in my mind, it's like, I assumed that Kirk and Jerry were close. And they had some sort of alliance going on the way they were talking. And I just thought, everyone was disrespecting the girls. So I was like, okay, that's my way in to like further my presence on this game, because I don't really have the alliances. Will goes to Chicago every single week to do, in the fall, to the Pro Football Show. I'm not there every single week. So, and I see you don't give a fuck what's going on. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm cool with Gilly. Gilly's cool with me. We're kind of just hanging out. So I know maybe if I need to come to you about something. And so at the next challenge, he says again, I started to talk to Roan, and Roan's like, I'll do whatever. So what I think Roan, not knowing that him and Jerry were so close, and then the two girls are kind of like having our own squad, because I was most worried about Kirk and most worried about Jerry.
Yeah.
So after the second challenge, Jerry mentions another thing too. Is like, you've been doing well. You're in. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck is going on? Then we lose the third challenge, and literally everyone's like, all right, we're getting Gilly. And I'm thinking, and Kelly was the other one too. She was like, I don't know if we should. We were kind of like talking about getting Jerry. Yeah. And you're saying goodbye to everybody. And I'm thinking, this is kind of the perfect little move, is to kind of just get Jerry. So we all get in a group like, all right, well, hey, well, Jerry's in the group like, hey, Jerry, we'll get Gilly. We got to get him out of here. It is what it is. Kirk's fired up. He's like, good, we can sleep in the room because it smells like smoke all the time. Like, he's kind of fired up at the idea. And then behind closed doors, I was like, yo, if we can get Jerry right now. Kirk tells me I can't vote for Jerry. I promised him I wouldn't vote for him. But I knew we had the number. And then we were out on the patio hanging out, and you're talking about what you're about to go do and all these different things.
I'm getting out of here, man.
And I was
love
like,
y'all guys, man. It was fun.
I was not so fast. I was like, we're getting Jerry's ass. We're getting him. And right before we go out to the vote too, Jerry looks back at me and goes, Gilly. I go, yeah, Gilly. We're getting him. And to watch, because you knew he was gone. But on the show, it looks like you didn't know at all. It was amazing acting. Amazing acting.
That was like Oscar-worthy winning.
Yeah, it was nice. But just running up and down. I love how they cut it to the black and white like surveillance cameras.
What?
You're just sprinting. Biz is another one too. Biz was also like, hey, buddy, listen, just tell me what to do, bro. Like anything you need, listen. I'll do wherever you vote. I'm gonna vote. I'm like, all right, I got two.
Now, what was the thought, right? Because I didn't know what was the thought, right? Well, y'all seen me go to the shower, the whole team. Like, was y'all like, this fucking guy's crazy?
No, I was just trying to, I'm thinking when we lose a challenge, like I'm on the chopping block because they want to get me out since I won last year.
Yeah.
And so whenever you got up to go take a shower, again, like I'm thinking to myself, how can I talk to Wallo like one-on-one? Like I need to start figuring out what my situation is on this end, because I'm with Whit and Big Cat, but I don't necessarily like fully trust Big Cat because I know eventually he would want to get me out. So whenever somebody alluded to, hey, it's pretty crazy he got up to go take a shower, I'm almost feeding that because again, I can't like,
it is crazy.
I can't stand out.
Why did he take a shower?
Yeah. I can't like stand out and make a move.
Like I'm thinking with logic, like
Will said he had to feed through the gasoline.
He feed the gasoline.
Wallo got the shower.
Why would he wash his hands?
I'm safe.
All I'm saying, I know I wouldn't do
and
that.
That shower felt great too. Yeah. I was like, and then you see, and I walk in, and as I'm coming out the shower, I see Dave and them in the huddle. They're like, you just took a fucking shower? Yeah, I had to cool off, Dave. You should take one. I mean, I'm walking through, I'm just chilling.
And so when Big Cat alluded to it, it's like, yeah, let's do that. Because Big Cat's a big target. If he's the one making moves, if getting to the merge, you can almost paint the picture that he's made more moves than me, because I had to just keep my target as low as possible. So I'm just falling into the crowd.
That shit was crazy. I just think one thing that I did like, because me, I look at shit different. What I loved about it is I love the production. Like listen, a lot of people are going to watch Surviving Barstool, and I want to shout out the people that probably don't get noticed. It was some extraordinary cameramen there. The production was unbelievable.
Yes.
I love the whole production of it. Shout out to everybody that had something to do with the production, from the editing, but the cameraman was just on point. It's like they was like your skin
everywhere.
Because you had your own personal cameraman. Shout out to the cameraman. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Tara and everybody, the whole staff that put it together, getting the food together, making sure you had your branded clothing, everything, the travel. It was just like that whole thing. I'm like, damn, this shit was done well.
Right. And to turn it around, like that's like a billion hours of footage.
Man, you know how much footage that is? 1,000 cameras?
Crazy.
A bunch of cameras. I just think it was just great. Like the whole thing.
Yes.
And Chicago Barstool was just like, that's the head. That thing is,
they got
that thing shit on New York.
Bro.
It make New York.
It is a hell of
look
an
like,
operation.
look like
bro.
nothing. It make New York look like a crack house.
I was in New York last month, and it just doesn't even
It
seem
don't
like
feel
the
the
same
same.
place. It doesn't feel like the same place at all anymore.
That what's name is like the stuff you for that whole for the whole Surviving Barstool to be able to be created in there and the different. It was just beautiful, but just seeing it was like, damn, okay. And the food was actually good that they was getting. Whoever was catering that food, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to people that was catering it. But it was like, I just was like,
When Dave called y'all about going on the show, was there any like hesitation? Was it pretty easy? Because
No.
you guys don't really
no, Gabe,
go in.
Only hesitation was, I'm like, Dave, I gotta be there all them fucking days I can't smoke.
He said, no, you can smoke, Gil. You can
I
smoke
said,
as much
oh,
as
I'm
you want.
in. Shit.
You can smoke a whole farce. That's what he told him.
And then I got there and they was like, Gilly, would you mind smoking outside? I'm like, wait, Dave said I could fucking smoke.
Gil stayed outside. We were taking
Oh,
breaks.
y'all thought I smoked a joint a day, huh?
He stayed outside.
All day.
Well,
He stayed
Gilly said,
outside.
I get normal. I don't get high.
Right,
I get normal. I don't get high.
Yeah.
Where'd you find that helmet?
Bro, and I don't see, and what I don't understand is why they never explained the helmet.
Yeah, because it does look like you're a little off.
Right.
You just gotta
He
walk
just
around.
felt
Like, you can't hit some
walked
corners.
in.
or
The
something.
first game's like, we got a
Yeah,
guy.
watch out for
when we-
Gilly. He
we got a guy
trips. There's a lot of
chirping.
sharp things
Yeah,
around here.
yeah.
We got a
When
guy
we,
chirping us
when
in
we
a helmet
first
right now.
walked in, you know, when you walking in, they got the camera on you, I put my luggage, and I'm like, where everybody? They like in the gambling cave. So I walked to the gambling cave, people were in there, I'm in there busting it up, and I sat down, and it was the helmet right there. They got all this on film, and I'm like, what fucking type of helmet is this? And I picked it up, and I put it on, and somebody was like, that's a hockey helmet.
And then we was outside
So
talking.
then I
and
was
spitting
talking,
chicklets.
and I walked out, I said, fuck it, it's been about 26 minutes, I haven't smoked. So I went outside to smoke, and one of the ladies was like, I love your helmet. I had forgot I had this shit on. I'm sitting out there like, then I'm like, she likes it. I'm going to keep it on the whole show. And I just kept the shit on the whole show.
Like,
Like,
is what a compliment from a woman can do.
Like you need to get another one going.
yeah, I am.
So I feel like it won't be right if I don't
And
hit,
then-
if I don't hit it with you.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to. Oh, hold on.
Dave out, and then we outside,
Another
right?
few going.
Gil, I lead Gil, and my guy. Cause first I seen my guy, right, Brandon, right. That's my fucking guy, cause I just think he's crazy as fuck, right. Brandon, Smitty, them like some of Rome, Caleb, someone. But I see Brandon. I say, yo, man.
You off a roll, dog. Get a little
Like,
fried
what
with
you
me,
doing?
man. You off a roll.
So listen, so on and so on, right? I see him. I'm like, Brandon, what's going on, man? Why you ain't? He said, Wallo, that's a long fucking story. We're going to talk though. And he leave. He just disappeared. He walked away. So I'm like, all right, cool. I talked to him because that's my guy, right? And then he pulled up. Gil outside. Gil was like, you're not going to believe what happened. I said, what?
So I'm sitting there outside, smoking as usual. And somebody hollers out, Gilly. So I look over and it's Brandon sitting in the truck. And I'm like, what's up, B? You know, we just make nicknames up on the fly. What's up, Big B? What's up with you, baby? He pull out and he pull parallel to me. He's looking out the window. I'm like, how you been? And he says, I'm not on the fucking game because Dave's an idiot. I was like,
when he told me that I died because I said, that's Brandon.
He's so emotional, dude.
That's Brandon.
Always.
but he screamed this shit at the top of his lungs.
I love
And
him.
then like burnt rubber, like, I'm like, oh shit.
Dave had him hot, man.
Like, what the fuck did Dave do to Big B? Damn, they had a whole
Yo, Dave, no,
accident
listen.
pulling out,
Dave,
like-
Dave was, you know what? Dave full of shit. You know why Dave full of shit? Dave gonna call, you when the time he called us, we gotta get an alliance, guys. I'm like, all right, cool, Dave. We don't even know the game. We thinking it ain't gonna be team. We thinking everybody gonna be by themselves, right? Yeah. So we just thinking like,
So you never seen Survivor. None of that.
No.
I never seen the real fucking Survivor in my life.
So I'm thinking like, so I'm sitting there like, Dave, like, yeah, we got to figure something out. We got to look out for each other, guys. And then when I get down, like, Dave, you full of shit. How we gonna look out for each other when we on different teams? Like, what the fuck? I didn't listen. By the time the game started, when when the trailer was running, about the first, it seemed like as soon as the game started, the trailer's running, I'm getting voted the fuck off already. So I didn't even get the
Lions. Get Wallo ass out of here.
Get him out of here.
See him.
Like I took a shower. We got to get him up out of here.
You would have thought Dave played for a fucking team. I seen him in about 19 different fucking huddles, man. Every time I walk around, I go to, let me go get something to eat. Dave over there, I go to the bathroom, take a piss, and pull my dick out. He under the toilet. Yeah, listen. I come back. I go on my bed and lay in the bed when he hide behind the locker. Yeah, guys, we got like this motherfucker had 19. Dave got 19 huddles,
and he's a master fucking finesser, man.
I'm like, what the fuck is you doing, Dave? It's just crazy. You know,
we should probably transition so we don't
fuck around and mess something up.
Yeah.
Because we do know some stuff. How many of those do you smoke? How many of those do you smoke a day?
Oh, I lost count, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You
smoking right when you wake up.
You only die once, man.
Yeah, you smoke a lot.
You gotta live every day, man.
But what's going on? Why
you don't wallow?
Never.
Just so it could stick, you know.
He smoke like crazy.
Hey, that is.
With him doing it so much, how do you not?
He wants to. He loves the smell.
How do you not join in?
I don't. You know what?
He never smoked a drink in his life. He's a fucking loser.
In your life, you've never
in his
smoked a drink
life.
in your life.
But I learned how to.
He's a fucking loser.
I know good smoke when I'm around it from being with him. You understand? We didn't smoke with the top people.
Yes.
He done been around everybody from Snoop out around the world, and a lot of people smoke bad weed.
Yes.
And and people be like, "Damn, Wallo, how you know?" I can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
I can smell good stuff.
He was with the gas lord.
The gas lord.
The gas god.
How did you shape up against Snoop?
Great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you outsmoke him?
I mean, me and Snoop are both at a level where you can't outsmoke each other.
They just smoke.
It's impossible. We just smoke.
And it's just big jars of just like the greatest looking weed ever. And you just grab something and I was looking at them guys like, these guys it's smoke everywhere.
Yes.
Man.
That's your phone, guys?
That is one of those guys that, like, even if you don't smoke and Snoop Dogg's around and he hands you a joint, you want to smoke that. I think there's a video of him he's bumping a security guard. It's like, and he just takes it anyway because it's Snoop.
Yeah, Snoop hands you something. Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
Yeah, he's allowed to smoke anywhere in the world.
Me too.
Snoop might get spark up in the White House. He could spark in.
I couldn't do that.
He probably get Snoop.
Yeah,
you could.
I could spark up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I knew Barack definitely smoked weed before. His lips, he got the dark lips. Like
Bill
he
Clinton
smoked
was in there smoking.
He smoked the grape Swisher Sweets. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Barack blew it down, man.
Of all the guys you guys have interviewed, who's been your favorite? Oh, you know what? Let's actually stay on the weed. Who's had the worst weed?
We can't say that. We don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. There was a lot of worse weed.
Like, let's say who is the best weed then?
Atlanta. I'm just gonna say that the city of Atlanta and the city of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Some of the best weed that Gil ever smoked.
Snoop.
Came from Snoop and Currency.
The rapper Currency. The rapper
New Orleans.
Currency. What the hell is going on?
Is that you?
Yes, it's somebody calling me from fucking Nigeria nonstop. I don't know what is going on.
Trying to hack your phone. Trying to figure out what happened in Surviving Barstool.
Nigeria on there.
Yeah. Did it really?
It's in Nigeria. I'm telling you, it's been nonstop since I've been sitting here. Like,
how has the game been to y'all? Bussin' with the boy. How have it been? Like, they come up in the game, you learn so much, you grow, you evolve. Like, you got other shit going on. How has it been for y'all?
It's been incredible. I think, like, when Taylor and I first got in it, it was one of those things to where, what are you going to do after football's over? Because you see all the stories of guys, the majority, how they go bankrupt within the first few years out. And really, too, it's like, what are you going to find that you love and want to pour into as much as you did football? Because we did it our entire lives. Mm-hmm. So whenever we started to build Bussin' with the Boys, and it started to catch some momentum, like through Coach Vrabel talking about how he cut his dick off for a Super Bowl, Jalen Ramsey coming on talking about how he talked shit to the receivers and how he DM'd.
Wait. Coach Vrabel said he cut his dick off for a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That's
when our first viral moment.
That means his dick is already dead.
Yes, that means
that means he went out already. Because ain't nobody doing that.
Nobody, if your dick still work, you're not doing that. So, yeah, his dick went out.
He said, I've been married 20 years. You guys will get there.
No, I've been married 20-some years, too. My dick ain't never cut my dick off for nothing.
You know how crazy that is?
Like, that's not even an option unless your dick went out on you. Like,
his is obsolete. It's not working.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Not by choice.
Yeah, right, that's what I'm saying. His dick went out. So it's
I thought you were saying his wife was like, no more. But you're saying his shit just doesn't operate.
His shit broke.
So the voluntary.
I'll get on board with that.
Yeah, so it's like when you got a lazy dick, don't wake up anyway. It's like, go ahead, get rid of it for a Super Bowl.
Hold up. It's just a menace.
Hold up. Because this is a diehard Eagles fan.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a question. If the Eagles could win the Super Bowl by a blowout, 50-0. Would you put your dick on the shelf for a year? Right now, the Eagles could
No sex for a year.
Yeah, you gotta put your dick on the shelf. No sex. You can't
nutting for
You
a
can't
year.
touch. You can't touch your wife for a
Not
year.
sex. No,
You can't touch
nutting.
yourself.
No, you can't even get aroused. You just gotta live.
I can't
Well,
make my
he'd
dick
still-
not
yeah.
get hard, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wake up, dick hard. What are you doing?
Like you can't do that. You can't do.
You just lost the Super Bowl. What are you talking about? Like,
You can't do nothing though. You can't.
But
do-
yeah, no nothing for a year.
You can't touch your wife for a year.
no, I'm not doing that because that's not on me to win the Super Bowl. That's on them grown ass men that's getting paid
No,
millions.
but
of
right
this
dollars
is
to
on
win the
you.
Super
We're
Bowl.
saying in this
It's on you. It's
hypothetical,
on
it's
you.
on you.
They're like Gilly.
There's
you
literally a
always think-
genie pops out and he goes, the only way for the Eagles
can't
to
do
win the
that.
Super Bowl is you cannot
50-0.
touch yourself or your wife for a year or anybody for that matter.
50-0.
Yeah, fuck it. It's,
You gonna do it?
That's
He
how
love
much
the
you love
Eagles.
the Eagles?
He let the
Yeah.
Eagles. Yeah, he let the Eagles.
Man.
What, 50-0 against the Chiefs? Do I get to pick the team? The Chiefs.
I
Now
tell
listen,
you what,
hold up.
y'all might not make it that far
Let me say this.
in the playoffs.
Why wouldn't we?
I just feel like you saw AJ after the game yesterday? AJ Brown?
We not worrying about that. I already handled that.
How so?
Come on.
He reached out. He reached out to people.
You call AJ?
I handled that, man.
He'll reach out to some people. He's
I'm just saying, like,
Do y'all
the
realize-
Eagles, you guys are a wagon. Like, you guys
Okay.
can do some damage.
Okay, do you realize, right?
But you do not need some drama.
I'm
going on
the
offensively.
team's psychiatrist. I just told
You don't
Howie
put
and
it
them
out
they
there.
ain't got to pay me, man. I'm the team psychiatrist.
So you've
You seen last year when it was playoffs time, who they brought down there to the locker room to talk to the team?
They lost.
Yeah, but you guys
Yeah,
lost.
The
but-
first round.
But you know what?
You guys started out so strong.
guys
It sounds
started
like
out
the minute
strong
you
and
got
fell
there, it
off.
just started going haywire.
But you know what? You know what? I had a feeling that it was nothing I can say, because anytime you had linebackers, what did I say in that? What did I say in that meeting? I said, "Where's the linebackers? I don't want to see no fucking running backs getting up off of y'all, because that what was happening all year. He was meeting in the whole wham there, and that running back not going this way. The fucking linebacker's going this way. So it wasn't meant. We had to reposition some things, get some people out of here, bring some dogs in who really want it. That's why we brought in the Kobe Dean, Georgia Bulldog.
He is a big
You know what I don't like
Cooper
about
DeJean.
football, man?
Cooper, the Caucasian cornerback.
The Caucasian corner.
Now you know
Literally
if you
bringing
got
it
a
back,
tackle on
bringing it
Derrick
back.
Henry.
but it's different. You know if you got a Caucasian cornerback, you know one thing.
He's a bad motherfucker.
He's a He's a BMF. He doesn't go to the cookout. He throws the cookout. What are you talking about? He knows how to lean with it. Rock with it. Hey,
Here you go, Coop. Shout out Cooper DeJean.
Hey,
Shout out Coop.
hey. He did his first year at Howard. You know what I mean? He
But
works out in Sudan.
But listen, this
He
is
has hip movement. He knows how to get in and out those breaks. Shout out to CC, Cooper, and we're from Philly, where we say John. Cooper DeJean. Overseas, they would say Cooper DeJean, but in Philly, he's Cooper DeJean.
So wait. How'd you handle the post game drama?
well, he reached out.
See, he did. See, one thing about me,
Just show him he ain't got to say nothing.
I don't do any lying. One thing about me, I don't do any lying, man. I'm just going to show you.
We literally just talked about on Surviving Barstool. He knew that Jerry was going to go, and he also stood up in front of everybody and said, "It's been so much fun. Thank you."
I just
While
wanna
knowing
show
Jerry
you,
was
right?
getting murdered.
Do what?
I sent him a message, right?
Yeah.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the big dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So what happened?
and let me just understand this. AJ is a great guy, hard worker, and sometimes you get a little frustrated. You know how it is. You feel like I was open, I should have got the ball. And in his defense, he was open. He was open on a slant
Yeah.
for a
A
touchdown.
few times, I
He was wide open, but Devontae Smith caught the pass, and he was open. So, you know, when you're a hard worker, you know how it is. The NFL wide receiver, he want to put that work in. We respect it, but sometimes it's not about what you say; it's about how you say it and how you go about things. You know what I mean? So shout out to AJ. We not gonna get on him. We just gonna let him know.
I'm just saying y'all got to feed that beast.
We gonna feed the beast.
And AJ's a fucking specimen.
Yeah.
Like, he's built like an action figure.
That's a dude you want.
I play with him on the Titans.
Exactly. But what you
if you don't get him the ball,
right,
he gets frustrated, which is what I want my receivers to be.
Absolutely.
Like. You want your skill positions to want the ball,
but
have the competitive drive.
But you also want AJ to handle it behind closed doors. You don't want AJ to take it to the media because now it can cause some friction in the locker room. We grown ass men. You know what I mean? And then you definitely can't be mad after a win because it looks extremely unprofessional. It looks like, okay, now you've fallen into this is the guy that only cares about stats. He only cares about himself. He's selfish. He don't care about winning. And that may not even be the case. But when you put that type of energy out there after a win on a 9-game win streak, you tend to look a little crazy and you tend to look a little selfish. So it's not about you, it's about the group. It's about winning because we win a Super Bowl and that confetti fall down on you and they say, AJ, where you going? And you say, I'm going to Disneyland. Every fucking body wins. The bums get paid. I'm talking about the bums get paid. The rumpa bums. They get $50 million to go somewhere to show that they really was a bum and it was a great system. They was in around great players. So you know how it is.
You're spot on. There'd be, we had a coordinator, Coach Minuski. He's like the linebackers coach at Denver. But when he was our coordinator at Washington, his whole thing was at the beginning of the year, it'd be like pouring into the team because when you win as a team, it'll all fall back on the individual.
Right. Yeah.
Going off of like, hey, you go and the confetti's falling on your face. Whether you're a bum, like nobody's a bum in the league.
But you know
it's
what I'm
like,
saying.
dudes are going to get
There's
paid
levels. There's
because
levels.
They got something over there that we don't have. We need to bring this mentality. We need to bring this leadership because everybody becomes a leader or knows about winning when you win a Super Bowl.
When you have a Super Bowl title,
because you're right about that.
So for me, that's all I'm saying.
This is my gripe with the whole NFL situation. I don't understand this. I think they need to switch. They need to shuffle the divisions.
What?
Oh, you want to shuffle it up?
You know why? Because
this is my gripe with the NFL.
I said
they need to shuffle the divisions.
No, this is why they need to shuffle the teams. Because I said,
can I tell them why?
No, shut up. Just let me say this because this is my world. Imagine if the Eagles get a chance to play the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
For who?
The Eagles to play the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Cowboys aren't going to make it to the Super Bowl for a while.
No, I'm just saying. What if you switched the divisions and moved it around with teams slot that Will messed up? His chest hurt. Will,
I ain't stressing my blessing.
Will nice. He smiling. He went from smiling, grabbing his chest.
I tell you one thing, they running from this shit, boy. That's the fastest puffs.
That shit different. Will nice.
So hang on, why do you want the different divisions?
Shit stronger than
because it's teams that can make it to the Super Bowl and play each other that'll never play each other. It's teams that'll never play each other that can play each other if it ain't got the divisions, right?
But you play everybody. I'm
talking about the Super Bowl.
Let me tell you why I disagree with you. I think there's something like take the NFC East because that's what we're talking about. Commanders, Eagles, Giants, Cowboys. Every year, but all those teams play twice, and the storylines of the history of those teams playing is what makes it more fun to watch when those teams are shitty.
Yeah.
Like the Cowboys, let's say the Commanders, they're all right. They're way better than they have been in the past. But when the Commanders and the Cowboys play, there's all that history to lean back on and be like, this is why this game means so much.
How do you feel? Did you see what happened yesterday at the Giants game?
Mm-mm.
When the fans paid for a plane to fly over.
Oh, yes.
Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Eagles, they pissed about Saquon, right? Like, how many people getting what is they doing? Were they ready to fire a bunch of people? Like, how do you let Saquon go? He go down to Philly. He go right down the street and go to fuck off like that. Who all getting fired?
I think a lot of people get chopped after the season.
Yeah.
You almost have to, right? Like they're almost saying it because Daniel Jones, they cut him.
Somebody spent a lot of money.
Admitting they were wrong.
It's expensive to get those signs off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Someone spent a lot of money to troll like that. That is tough.
Yeah, if you're an owner, you have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Is Jalen Carter the best defensive tackle in the NFL?
I mean, he's on the short list.
Is Quinyon Mitchell the best cornerback in the NFL?
We were talking about that earlier for the intro. Him getting the defensive rookie of the year.
1,500?
You know what they call it,
There's no
right?
banner to
When you
it.
play against him. Welcome to
30.
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yes, you're getting locked up today.
I like it. But
Yes. You came up with that one?
No, that's the whole Philly. That's what we call them.
You never know. You know Gilly's an originator. I see his visit where he's dancing with Za.
Yes, he walked in with the hoodie on, said Guantanamo Bay on it.
Why is Philadelphia such a nasty fan base?
Because, first of all, we're a blue-collar city, hard-working city.
Yeah, everybody
We're
tough.
one of the poorest cities in the country. Compared to a lot of these cities, we're like a third world fucking city. Like, we're fucking broke. And a lot of our frustrations and, the negative things we go through, for that one win on that Sunday, that shit mean everything. You gotta understand, when the Eagles lose, it feel like a third cousin died. Like, that whole week is fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your third cousin, like you knew him, you might have met him a couple times,
Look at
but
that.
you knew he was your cousin, right? It's
You don't see that nowhere else.
It's beautiful. It's
That's
my
your guy right there.
Absolutely. Philadelphian. Look at him.
That belly button.
Like,
is
you gotta
crazy.
understand, we like did something to Santa Claus. Like,
It's like the most hostile environment ever.
Yes.
You guys will yell at even your own fan base.
Yes. That's why we love Nick. Like, everybody wanted to get on Nick Sirianni because he went over and said what he said to the fan at the end of the game. I love that Nick embraces the Philly fucking mentality.
Philly wanted him gone.
No.
Before the season started.
No. It's Philly media.
Oh,
And
the fans were pretty loud
Yeah,
too last year,
that's
bro.
crazy.
Hold on.
What fuels the fandom?
Let's
The
be
media.
honest. Since Nick has got here, he's done nothing but win. See, sometimes you gotta, be careful what the fuck you ask for. Nick has done playoff, Super Bowl. What the fuck are we talking about? I'm even confused at why Doug isn't in fucking here still. Because I know some people would have cut 2 fucking pinky toes and they fucking pinkies off for a Super Bowl. He come in, win a Super Bowl fast as shit, and then we let him go. That makes no sense to me. When we keep head coaches longer that's never won his fucking Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin won 1 fucking Super Bowl in Pittsburgh. He been there 111 years. Like, and then the guy before him was there 111 years with the big fucking mustache.
Yeah.
No, I think
Y'all kind of look. He could have won for his son though.
Yeah, Stas Gordon.
So I don't understand, and then I don't understand the Jalen Hurts slander when it's only one quarterback that's won more games than Jalen Hurts since he's been playing, and that's Patrick Mahomes. What are we talking about? All I do is win, no matter what. I don't care how the win come. We not a pretty city. We a gritty city. Let's be for real. We're a city that fucking lead the fucking country in homicides every year. We're not a pretty city. We're a gritty city. We're a run. Play action fake, got you. That's us. So it took the offensive coordinator a little minute to realize that Jalen Hurts ain't Dak Prescott. We don't want a motherfucker that's going to throw for 5,000 yards every year and go home the first week of the playoffs. All right? We tailor to his game. Okay? Don't come over here and try to prove yourself. We don't want you to prove your fucking self. We want you to tailor your shit to Jalen Hurts. Don't make him tailor his game to you. And we're 11-2, man. And let's talk about this. We really supposed to be 11-1. He won for it on 4th down. And
12-1?
12-1, yeah. And Saquon had dropped the ball, remember, for the first down? Yeah.
Statistician.
I would say everything you just said.
He loves the Eagles.
You love him.
Everybody would agree with you on the outside of Philly over the course of the last 2 seasons, like wanting to call for Sirianni said. It ultimately comes out of the fan base.
Yeah, you said you were like, I don't know why Doug's even gone, but there was like an article that came out like before the season saying we want Doug Peterson back.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that I would want Doug back now. No, we got Nick now, but I never understood why
why
they even
you guys
got rid
him
of
in the
Doug.
first
That didn't
place,
make any
100%.
fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't won a Super Bowl ever in the history, and then we bring a guy in, and with 2 years we win a Super Bowl. He's supposed to say when he's fucking leaving.
I'm with you.
So that's how I look at it. Now we got Nick. Nick, first of all, let's be for real, man. Come on, man. There's no fucking head coach in the NFL like Nick Sirianni.
Wow.
4th and 4, fuck it. Let's do it. Man, that's telling you guys I believe in you.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, Lions.
Dan Campbell does
Okay, maybe Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Dan's a beast.
Dan's a beast. Talk about culture
energy.
mentality
Yes.
guy you want running your locker room, Dan Campbell.
I'm taking Nick every time over Dan. No disrespect. Nick went over to the fan and said, fuck your mother. Yeah, Nick. That's right. If you're going to talk that shit to you during the game, what are you doing, Nick? Fuck you, Nick. Get Nick out of here. You're a loser, Nick. Nick should be allowed to go. Fuck you, mother.
Gil's a diehard Nick guy. When I'll never forget when they did the fourth.
Nick's my
4-4. He said, this is when I know Gil was a diehard Eagles guy, right? And it threw me off because I didn't know what he was saying, right? Because I'm in the bathroom, right? And I'm, doing my thing, and I just hear him screaming, "That's right, Big Dick Nick." I'm like, whoa.
What?
Yes. I said, whoa, what the fuck is going on, guys? I said, what the fuck is going on?
Big Dick.
You're the biggest! Big Dick Nick, yeah! I said, what the fuck? I said, this guy, man.
He said, what the
He really loved Nick.
Yo, he's like.
He really loved Nick. He loved the Eagles.
Have you seen it?
I said, this guy's crazy.
Yo, man, this fucking guy's a liar, man. Big Dick Nick.
Yeah, he said that. I didn't understand where it came from. I knew it was passion. He was passionate about it too. He had a tear in his eyes. I said, wow. Came out the bathroom. I said, oh, you really having a good time.
Had a tear in his eye.
You see how he went crazy about it? He just was his campaign manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nick's that guy. You know.
So they lose in the first round of the playoffs. You're cool.
We'll
cool
never lose in the first round of the
Never.
playoffs. Never. This year.
Why y'all got doubts
never.
about the Eagles? They're strong.
No, I like the
My
Eagles.
only doubt
I like
with
the
the
Eagles.
because even though he's saying the fan base didn't want this, the fan base didn't want that. A moment like he was talking about earlier, where AJ says what he says in the locker room, all things he was saying was right. But when that moment happens,
They can shift the energy.
Eagles, the fan base explodes over it becomes the distraction that ultimately would come to their downfall when they do reach the playoffs.
No, because
their fans are psychos. I'm sorry.
Who went in the Super Bowl this year?
The Eagles.
No, I'm asking them. Who y'all got?
Oh man, I think it's hard to bet against the Lions right now.
Yeah, I think so.
What?
You guys match up with them the best. I think that's the most exciting game.
Yeah,
the potential
physicality
game
on
is the
physicality.
NFC Championship between y'all and the Eagles because you guys are both physical teams. You get in the second half against the Eagles and the Lions, like you guys run them down physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like you guys are those two teams. I just think the Lions have more going. They've been blowing teams out, bro.
Yeah.
Blowing them out.
Yeah.
Panthers almost beat y'all.
Okay, yeah, but the Panthers almost beat Kansas City last week.
Everyone's almost beat Kansas City.
So
everybody's
and the
almost
week
beat
before
Kansas
that, they almost beat the
I
team
mean,
before that.
the way the Chiefs-Chargers game ended this weekend.
Okay, let me just say something. When you won 9 games in a row, 8 games in a row, it's kind of fucking hard to get up for the Panthers.
Let me see something.
I'm not against
A
you
win
on
is
that.
a win.
I'm not against you on that. The Lions consistently cover.
See, now you're talking DraftKings.
I'm talking DraftKings. I am. I'm just saying that you guys are both similarly built teams, the Lions and the Eagles.
Bro, do you
guys are
realize?
both, like Will said, knock
do you
down,
realize
drag them out.
how many points we give up a game? The Lions just beat the Bears 20-23 to.
On Thanksgiving.
Come on, man.
You play the Packers, who's also a sneaky good team.
But
you play the
look, y'all
the Lions are favored by
let
the
me
Colts
just
by
say
8
this.
points. They're
You
favored
look
by
at the
13 against the
Lions.
Jags.
You look at the Lions rest of their season, and you look at the Eagles rest of their season. You tell me who's getting the bye. That's the big thing. The Lions' toughest part of their season is now.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions got Bills.
Look, that game's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
okay, they got the Bills. Who else they got?
Bills just lost to the Rams. They got
Okay.
the Bears, who they've already beat on Thanksgiving. Who
The
just got
Niners?
brutally destroyed by the 49ers.
Niners?
The 49ers is a hurt team who just
The
beat a bad
Vikings.
Bears
The
team.
Vikings.
Vikings
Vikings are tough.
Yeah,
Right.
Vikings are tough.
And then you see who we got. Yes.
Pull up the Eagles schedule. And I want all the Eagles fans watching this because I know your squad's walking in this Bussin' with the Boys episode ready to make an opinion. I like the Eagles. I think they're fun. I think the times that I've played there, even in a preseason game,
Look at that.
the Eagles are psychopath fans.
Commanders, Giants, Cowboys, and the Steelers. Cakewalk, 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 and a cakewalk. Just like candy.
Yeah.
See it in your walk.
You should watch out for that Steelers game.
Ain't worried about that. They got Russell Wilson, bro.
Mike Tomlin is a stud when he's an away
Guess what
dog.
Mike Tomlin don't do? Tackle motherfuckers.
No, y'all have a squad.
Y'all have a
Eagles
squad.
are good. Eagles are
Bro,
good.
we give up
Eagles are
like
good.
we give up like 16 points a game. You know how hard it is to beat a team that gives up 16 points a game?
Yeah, look, nobody's disagreeing with you.
When Saquon
Eagles
Barkley,
are a tough football
We
team.
need to make something clear. We like the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking to an Eagles fan. We're playing devil's advocate, but also your fan base is crazy.
Yeah, and you're in it.
Yes.
Like on the outside
Scary.
looking in, you
Yes.
don't look at the Lions like, yo, this is a fucking joke.
no, we'll
You go
never
to a
take
preseason game. They have
no
more more
disrespect.
people than
I
the
love
Titans.
Detroit. We'll never take the Lions serious. That's the Lions, bro. What the fuck have the Lions ever won? How can you take somebody that's never won shit serious? You know, somewhere along the line, what are they going to do? Crack like an egg thrown off the project roof? You know it. It's just dying to happen. It's waiting to happen. Let's just think about this. The Lions, their best players in their history retired in their prime. They said, I can't do this shit no more. I would rather go home in my prime than play with you motherfuckers. I can't do it. Think about that.
Yeah, they were going 0-16. Now they have the 1 seed right now.
Think about that. Their best players in their history, not just one player, 2 players said, I can't do this shit no more. Y'all not going to trade me. I would rather go the fuck home and eat granola bars and play with my fucking kids and turn all of these millions of dollars around. Barry Sanders, before I get tackled by a whole fucking NFL team every fucking game for you, 11 people was tackling him, Barry. He had no blocking and he still ran for 1,400. Calvin Johnson, like, I'm catching everything thrown to me. We still can't win shit. I had 17 catches for 400 yards and we lost. I can't do this shit no more.
That is heartbreaking. A heartbreaking stat because the things you said.
Oh, you gonna pull that up? The producer
That is
ain't
wild.
shit.
Crazy.
I just want to shout the
Eagles
producer out.
Hey, that is wild, Sherm.
That's crazy.
That is a
Sherm
fire
ain't shit,
photo, though.
man. Damn,
Even if you're that
Sherm.
DB, that is a crazy photo.
I know.
Wallo, how's the going back to the very first question you asked me? How's the game treating you?
It's good, man. You know, you learn every day. I'm just always learning. It's something new every day to learn from, you know, just the podcast world, the business world. It's always something new happening. You know, you just got to stay on top of everything. And I'm just thankful to be here.
Man, he's
Y'all
fucking
have
shit.
been- y'all
He's
have
sugarcoating it,
Killed
man.
it.
He's living a fucking life. Shout out to this guy. He did 20 years in jail. Some people in your audience might not know. He went to jail at 17. He came home at 37. Just think about this. He got locked up in jail for having a cell phone, right? When somebody told him, bro, you could Google yourself and it'll tell you all your information. He was like, what? That can't be real. I'm a fucking dinosaur. I've been in jail forever. How would my name come upon? He Googled himself. He couldn't believe it. He gets caught with the same cell phone in jail. He comes home and he's the cultural advisor at YouTube.
Cultural advisor?
Yes.
Community too. What
Think
I do is
about
I
that.
created a program called YouTube Avenues where we go around different cities and put like 4 or 5, sometimes 600 people in a room and educate them how to start their YouTube, scale on YouTube, monetize their YouTube. All through YouTube.
No shit.
But he
And you started that while you were in prison.
No, I started it out here.
Okay, that is still nuts no matter what.
so
No, he said what he's saying is he's got to this point after, you know, being locked up for 20 years. He gets out, puts in all this work. They start $1 million worth of game, and now he's positioned himself to be asked for to be on the what'd you say it was?
culture advisor at
Culture advisor
YouTube. So
YouTube.
what
yeah,
they
the
do
advisory
is
board for fucking
so what
YouTube.
they do is they went around to how many cities you did?
10. We just left London.
Just
We
did London.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oakland,
New
Philly,
Orleans, Philly, DC,
Detroit.
Baltimore, Miami, Houston, the Bay, all that shit. We did a bunch of shit.
So when you
That's
spend,
incredible, bro.
That's
Congrats
unreal.
on that.
when you spend 20 years in prison, like when you get out, what's going through your mind of how to start up whatever it is you want to do.
I seen that.
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
I seen that the phone was everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was a media company, and it was over after that. I just started with the phone. You could do everything on the phone, and I realized a lot of people wasn't doing a lot of stuff out here. So it was just easy for me.
How'd you figure out podcasting?
I called him. I told him, I said, we already heard about it. But what happened was I woke up one morning. It was early 2019, and I seen an article. Spotify allocated $400 million to podcasts in the first quarter. I said, we got to do something. And we already had an audience, so I said, let's go.
Did you have an audience before the podcast started?
Yeah, we had an audience. He had I had 500,000, he had 1 million.
Yeah, I saw you were an actor back then.
I mean, so we did that. So when we did that, we started it, we put it out, and I was on the charts. I was watching the charts. And 7 hours, we went to in comedy, we was number 2 under Joe Rogan, and we was number 4 in all categories in 7 hours. I was putting our first episode out, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is sweet.
But $1 million worth of game started in 2012. He was still in prison. Well, I used to give $1 million worth of game out on social media to the youth. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was something that I used to do it every day. You feel what I'm saying? I would come on there to all the youngins out there. Let me give y'all.
You say this is $1 million worth of game.
Yeah, to all the youngins out there. Let me give y'all $1 million worth of game real quick. Stop chasing women and chase money, because when you got money, women chase you. Right? This shit, it was back when you could only speak for 15 seconds. So I would have to come on and pop it real quick. But it was always something that people would be like, yo, that was funny. He's telling the truth, though, and it's funny.
Right.
And then Instagram allowed you to do it for a minute. So then I would do it for a minute. And then Instagram allowed you. And then one day I said, I'm going to allow y'all to send me some questions, and I'm going to give y'all some game on the questions y'all send me. And then that's when it exploded. So people always used to be like, Gilly, you need a podcast, you need a YouTube channel, but I never knew what a podcast was.
Right.
So then by this time he comes home now, we're doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sends me the article. And I was like, wait, they gave out $421 million from January to April.
That's crazy.
Break them fucking microphones out. Fast.
How quickly between learning that information and actually standing up the podcast did it take?
Was that a week, maybe 2 weeks?
That day, they got the name,
everything.
And Wallo, you just got the research as far as the technical side.
Yeah, I'm one of the research. I just do all research, and I got up on it. Got the logo done, got the lawyer, everything in a day. We was on that shit.
No shit. Over one article that came out.
No, you know what's so crazy?
Because the guy, a lot of shit don't get his attention. I woke him up 4 in the morning, 5 or some shit, and I called him. And when he called me back, I'm like, he's not, because he don't be.
Listen, right? Our first episode came out in April.
Yeah. It came out in April 17th.
The article says Spotify allocates $421 million from January to April. Our first episode came out in April. That's how fast we moved.
No shit. And was there any other names you guys wanted to go off of, or was $1 million worth of game?
No, it was
right
already
away?
there because it was already.
You've been kind of branded.
Right, and people had came to me for advice. The craziest shit. Gilly, let me just ask you a question. I know you've been with your wife a long time, but people be jumping in my wife DM and they be saying, I don't like that shit. And it be causing arguments in the house. And what you think I should do, OG? And then I just give them some game on it.
Mm-hmm.
People jump in my wife DM all the time. But if my wife didn't look like nothing, would nobody be trying to jump in her DM?
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to them to jump in their DM. Shoot your shot, player. You can't make a basket unless you shoot your shot. But my wife better be goddamn Dikembe Mutombo, Giannis. She better be goddamn Shaquille. She better block every goddamn shot, every basket, layup, and she damn sure better not net a motherfucker dunk. You feel what I'm saying? So, and then I would show them in the Instagram writing me the message,
Mhm.
but I would blur their face out.
That'd be
And
great.
then
Yep.
I showed my response. Thousands on top of thousands on top of thousands of comments, shares every day.
So it was already there.
It was already there.
Was the first episode difficult for you guys? Or you guys all did you guys have like a
No.
game plan of what you're going to talk about? Or you just went
Never.
in?
We just turn the mics on and talk. Just go from there.
Did you have a guest on your first episode?
No, we didn't have a guest for the first year and a half.
It was just y'all.
Yeah.
And when did you guys start like monetizing on all that stuff? Because obviously the charts come out and they're as big as
No,
they
we was
are.
monetizing from the gate.
Really?
We uploaded everything through Buzzsprout.
We did Buzzsprout, and I immediately went out. We went out and got sponsors. If you go all the way back to the beginning, if you go to the first episodes, you'll see. Go all the way to episode 1, episode whatever, 2, 3. You'll see. We had sponsors. I went to local businesses, and we stepped right. We had a car dealership, Springfield Hyundai. We had Boys Funeral Home. We had all type of. We just had.
The funeral home is so funny.
Do that real quick.
Yeah,
Listen,
talk about the funeral home.
The funeral home was. I was at this funeral, and one of my homies looked like he was still living, and I seen a lady, right, that that owned it. I talked to her, and then somehow she was like, no, it was way before that. For number one was like we wasn't even on Barstool number one, like so. I went to her and I said, "Damn, we could do some marketing for you somehow." I was like, "You did a good job, right?" She was like, "That'd be great. Nobody really market on podcast like what's the name." So, I remember it was like, this episode of $1 Million Worth of Game is brought to you by Boyd's Funeral Home. One thing about when you die, you want to die and you want to be dead, but you want to look like you still living. Once you go out in style, you need to get with Boyd's Funeral Home. This place is fab. And I just went and just broke it down how you look
Affordable
like you still
prices,
living.
but they're going to make your family members glow.
You'll be dead and still
You
living.
push a lot of business their way.
Man, they called us and said they wanted to stop
They
marketing.
said
It was
keep
too
the
many bodies.
money. They said keep the money that we already, but please don't run. And I have too many bodies.
That's fucking wild. So you guys, how many ads did you do for them?
We did a lot.
But
No, we probably did. No, they ain't even make it a whole month. We only was doing 4 episodes. Like what I used to do is
she did a little over a month, and then
she paid for that, but she ain't want it all.
Yeah, but
so what happened was, when I used to hook the deck up, I used to sell minutes. So the way I did it was, I didn't do like what certain people do CPMs. I didn't never build leave to none of that. I went to people who was like, we got visibility, you want traction, this is what it is. So I used to sell minutes, 4 minutes a month. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's all it is. You get a minute ad on an episode. Right. So I would sell that. You know what I'm saying? So I was getting, $25,000 for 4 minutes of, the car dealership.
This is when you guys first started?
Yeah, we first started because we already had, because the way I would sell it is, right? The way I would do it is, I'd do like this. When I made the deck, I say, all right, bet. When we do your pod, when say if we came to Bussin with the boys, be like, damn, y'all want to do something with it? Like, yeah. The way I wrote the way I had the deck wrote out was this. You don't just get mentioned on the podcast, your name is copy, your website, your logo. Every post that we put up concerning, like we was one of the first boys really putting up a lot of clips in our culture from podcasts. A lot of people wasn't doing it, just like my podcast is out. We was putting up clips. So every clip we had put up, every time we put a clip, we would put presented by or sponsored by in the joint. So you get not just on the podcast, on the social media posts that we putting up, you gonna start getting, so that was the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So we had a whole pack and they loved it. They was like, oh, we gonna get that too? Yeah.
Shout out to Springfield Hyundai, right?
Yeah.
Because when we went to them, we gave them the number. They was like, it was kind of high. But they had a son who he was entrenched in the culture. And he was like, I'm telling you, Dad, I'm telling you, like, these are the guys. So the dad was like, okay, can we do a 3-month deal? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's 12 minutes. All right, cool. After the first month, he called and said, fuck that 3-month deal. Yeah. We had the biggest month we've had since we've opened. We made up a whole character. When you get there, ask for backdoor Bobby, because he's going to take you to the back door, but you're going to drive out the front door. These motherfuckers are showing up. We want backdoor Bobby.
No shit.
What?
Backdoor
amazing.
Bobby.
Killed him.
What made you start pivoting to guests?
We didn't start pivoting to guests until we was maybe about 5-6 months on the Barstool.
Oh, so you started the guests when you got the Barstool?
Yeah.
Was there? Is it because of Barstool? Did they say,
No. We had told Barstool, we did it like this because when we first met Dave and Erica and everybody, we was like, we did it like this because we didn't want our shit based around who we brought on the podcast. We wanted it based around us and the game that we was giving out. That's guidance, attention, motivation, and education. That's what $1 million worth of game means. So then when we got on Barstool in about 6 months, we still just doing us. We said, okay, now it's time. Now it's time to show our power. Because we gonna run around and get the biggest motherfuckers in the world because we already know they fuck with us. We already know they want to come on the podcast. They've been asking. We just been holding them off. Now is the time. And then we just went crazy. Snoop, Floyd, Young Thug, Dirk, Mike Tyson,
Oh yeah, crazy.
Michael B.
Aaron
Jordan, Aaron Donald,
Kevin Durant,
Kevin Garnett. You name them, we got them.
you got whoever you want?
You know what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan.
a lot of
Yeah,
people.
y'all have had on some hitters.
You know what I mean?
Y'all have had on some hitters. What was the decision to go with Barstool? Obviously, Barstool's a very white-driven culture.
What happened was we heard from the head of Spotify. I got a call from him. He was the first person. Courtney Holt reached out, and at that time, he was hollering at us. And then Roan is the one that told Barstool about us, because Roan from Philly. We went up there. We met with him, and Erica, Dave. They wasn't bullshitting. They was about their business, and that's what we liked it. Back then they had Jen there. Jen was. You remember? I think you talked to Jen. You remember? I was like, Jen, good peoples. Jen, you remember when Jen was like running the whole Barstool that time?
Jen Simons.
Jen. Shout out to Jen. And they just had a good infrastructure, and they knew the business of podcasting.
You didn't think of it in any fashion too, like choosing to go with Barstool with the culture and fan base that you have, that there wouldn't be question marks going in, making that kind of call?
We didn't give a fuck. We had our own fan base.
We had our own fan base.
So it was like if some of their fans come over, they come over. If they don't, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We understand. See, you got to understand. From we first met Dave and Erica at 30th Street Station. They caught the train down from New York. We walked into the train station. By the time we left the train station to go to dinner, they had already understood what it was. Because every white person walked up on Dave and said, "Oh shit, Stole Presidente! Oh my God!" And a few of them was like, "Gillie Wallo!" But every black fucking person in that fucking train station walked up, "Gillie Wallo!" So it was like, oh shit, these guys are kind of big.
Yeah.
They're kind of a big deal. You know what I mean? Because it's non-stop. It's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So it's like, let's get the fuck out of here because this is not going to stop. And then we went to dinner and we pretty much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, got it done.
Yes.
But if you guys have the infrastructure you guys already had, and Barstool being pretty much a white company, mostly like white frat guys and people who've graduated, white graduated guys from the frat life. What was the reasoning that you guys would want to go there? Like, why wouldn't you guys just
especially
keep
when
doing
you're
your
selling
thing?
your own stuff already?
The whole thing is, they had the infrastructure, and Barstool is an amplifier. They'll take you to the. They understand business. You learn business. It's not just like you go over there. It's like the thing about Barstool is not a place where you go at and they hide information. They'll tell you whatever the fuck you want to know about what's going on, how to do the. Like, and then for you to see it, for you to be inside a Barstool and see it, there's no way in the world you're not walking away with a business mind from you walking around that office. If growth is in your mind, you're gonna be like, oh, that's all right. And you're gonna learn. You got access to everybody. Sales, you got access to the editors, you got access to the graph, you got access to the merch people. And that's just what I seen. And I was like, oh, this is where it's at.
I mean, and also too, they came in and offered us a shitload of money. That we was making money, of course. But when they come in and they like, no, I don't want to fuck with nothing you guys got going on. We gonna send you guys some ads.
Yeah, we want to pour gasoline on it.
Yeah, gasoline on
Let's
fire. The
fucking
phrase.
go.
Gasoline
you know what I
company.
mean? And the fact that they respected us as that, it was a beautiful marriage. You know what I mean? That's why it's been running smoothly the whole time.
So when you guys go to your having guests on your show for the first time, 6 months into Barstool, you guys have already said like you had everybody kind of saying we want to come on the show, we want to come on the show. How did you make the decision for your first person, and who was your first person?
I don't even fucking know.
The first person to come on the show.
First person to come on your show. Because you were saying you got all these people hitting you guys up, being like, "We want to come on $1 million worth of game." So obviously, when you're about to open it up, you're like, "All right, we're gonna have our first guest."
No. We had the guest before we got the Barstool. Snoop was one of the first guests, one of the first big ones.
Yeah, on Barstool.
We had. I did when we was at the old spot.
Oh yeah, when we was at the old spot, we had
a
Danny
porn star.
Garcia.
We had a porn star, Pinky, come.
Pinky,
porn star was the level.
But we only had like 3 episodes out of the where we had guests. We did have, we had Danny Garcia. But that's more like my
had the
friend.
Porn star Pinky on
you know what I mean? He's
there.
from Philly. That's my guy.
Got you.
He's just coming in and add some you know, just talk a little bit.
What are some of the moves you started making when learning about the business of Barstool?
You learn how to run your business. You learn a lot of shit. You learn how to run your business.
Like what shows have you built since joining Barstool?
Gilly on Sports.
Gilly on Sports.
Okay.
Gillie
Live
Wallo's
stream
Adventures.
during the Eagles games and Sixer games and Colorado games. And
bro, you always have the funniest video after an Eagles win. Where you're just out in the front yard dancing.
You gotta understand, man, when we won the Super Bowl, I cried, man. I'm talking about real fucking tears. There's a video out there somewhere.
It was crazy.
Yeah, starting those verticals is, I mean, seeing the way Barstool does it with their streaming.
Right after we won.
You can't believe that shit. We was out in Philly that night in Philly.
Look at
it was crazy.
I mean, y'all should have had one a couple years ago against the Chiefs.
Yes, we should have.
Oh,
we were there.
That holding call, man.
Yeah,
wild. That was in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching that game. Damn. But yeah, starting those verticals, especially the stream stuff. You walk into Chicago and you see them doing the streams.
Yes.
It's printing for them and they're just hanging out with their boys.
Right.
Watching a game, doing all that. That is, and Barstool makes it seem so easy to have a business. I think that's what makes
No, because you know what it is? Barstool is like a bunch of homies hanging out and it makes it feel like, but they got the infrastructure. You can never miss out the infrastructure, the framing.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it's regular, but
that's what makes it seem like anybody
so
can
great.
do it. Because you watch what Barstool does and it seems so effortless. Because it is just a bunch of dudes hanging out, and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm with the boys right now. I feel like I'm hanging out with a group of friends. And really, they're selling ads, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go. My grandma just died. I'm gonna go to that funeral home because I see the boys hanging out doing that.
But Barstool, right? Too. They like one thing about Dave. Like Dave will fucking hire any fucking body.
Anyone.
Like my man Glenny. No, not Glenny. What's my guy? Man,
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. When I fucking heard the story of how Frank got fucking hired, I was like, wait, what? And it was like, he was just in the subway screaming. He was mad because he couldn't make it to a game and the subway was running late and he snapped the fuck out.
That's
and
crazy.
Dave was like, get that guy. I was like, wait, what?
Right. I did not know that story.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, I'm a little confused, but I'm like, but the shit works.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, shout out to Dave and Barstool for being able to see shit that I couldn't see because the motherfucker just snapping out because he couldn't. I'm not like, get him on $1 million worth of game. Hurry up. Like
how many people come to y'all trying to, whether do a podcast, work with you in any type of fashion? I would assume like a lot of young kids out there. A lot of the young kids,
we give a lot of game to them and just try to give them the education about it. I just think a lot of people just think this way. I think the misconception that people just think you could just get a couch and a mic and just do a show. They don't understand that do people really care about what you talk about? Do you have an audience? It's multiple things because as you can see, you got thousands of shows out here that nobody even look at.
Right.
And it's just about why do you really want to do this? Because you could get into space, you get into podcast space, but you could be a cameraman, you could be an editor, you could be a graphic designer. You don't have to be that. But I just think we live in a world now where everybody want to be popular. And social media gave everybody this drink. They got them drunk off of popularity. So that's why you got people sitting on the couch just wasting their time. A lot of people trying to do it, and they not going to learn and study the game. Like, yo, how did this really go? How did this really work? Like, y'all had an audience. Y'all had people that believed in. Y'all came together. Y'all built this shit. Nobody
And
thought
the
about
facility
this.
is fucking wonderful.
Yeah, nobody thought about this.
You like the shop?
Yes.
I love the shop.
Yeah.
So
Y'all
if you're talking to somebody that is so consumed by the ideas of going viral but don't know how to do it, don't know where to put their infrastructure, what would be the first thing you would tell them?
I would tell them don't worry about going viral. Just create dope content.
Right.
Like, because and see, the whole thing with us is like, what's so great about us, we don't have to create content. We just documenting our journey.
Mm-hmm.
Content is something that you create and it's produced. It's like this idea of, there's a scripted, like, Surviving Barstool. That was just people just in there tripping the fuck out, which is the best stuff that people want to watch. They don't want to watch nothing. Read your script, action. Like, it's just that you're going. So I just think, like, you can't go viral trying to go viral. You go viral. Viral moments is not nothing that anybody know that's going to happen.
Right.
I never seen one of my moments that went by, and I knew that was going to happen. You just do it.
Yeah. You can't be calculated in it. You just have to be yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I just think, first of all, a part of going viral, when you really think about it, most of the people that go viral, they don't give a fuck. Think about it.
Right.
They don't give a fuck what nobody think about them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most viral clips on Surviving Barstool is me. But what is everybody saying the whole show? Gilly don't give a fuck about nothing. Gilly's just, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
When you care too much, wait, what if I put this up? What if they say this? And I might get backlash for this. And wait, hold it. You care too much to go viral.
Is that a way you've always operated? Is not like just not being worried about other people's opinions? Because it's a difficult thing when you live in a world with a camera in front of your face the whole time. For some people not to worry about their image.
I just be me. I don't really give a fuck.
But have you always been like that?
Yeah, always. He'll tell you. I've
Me too.
always been
It's
like that.
to the point
I
where
don't
it's
have
though-
an image.
Mm-hmm.
It's to the point where it's though, like you got to be uncancelable. And the thing is, you got to be able to just do you, because in this world, you got a bunch of people that just sitting back mad because when success happens, there's a lot of hate that comes with success. A lot of it.
Right.
So if you're not ready for the side effects of success, which is the hate and all other things that come with it, the falling out, but like, it ain't for you. Go get a nurse job or some shit. Go work at Hooters or some shit. But don't do nothing that you want to be great and you want to be successful at it, and you can't deal with the hate. You got to really know how to cut it off and be like, okay, me getting into this is going to be some hate that's going to come. Fuck it.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out the nurses and the waitresses.
Shout out to all
there
them.
grinding it
Yeah,
out.
grinding it out.
Absolutely.
Grinding it out.
Because I've been canceled 3 times.
What'd you get canceled for?
I don't even know.
He just high. See, this is when you high. He high.
Yeah.
How do you
So,
know?
you
know, they did
My man
tag
got
you on
canceled
Twitter.
and
Like,
got
I
through it
don't.
without even
First of all,
knowing.
I don't disrespect people. So, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And if I ever disrespected someone, I don't have a problem saying I'm sorry. I apologize. People make mistakes. You gonna hate me forever because I made a mistake? What the fuck are we talking about here?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm the motherfucker that wake up like, y'all canceled me yesterday, but I'm still fucking here. It didn't work. Like, I'm still here. So I don't believe in that type of shit. I just believe in being me. And some people gonna like me, some people not gonna like me. If you don't like me, that's whatever you got going on and your problems that you facing in your life, that's on you, because I'm a very fucking likable guy.
Yeah, you try to please everybody, you'll please nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Will fucking likes me.
I fucking love you. Have either of y'all met somebody, rubbed elbows with somebody, sat down with the podcast with somebody where you're just like, yo, shit, I can't believe we're fucking doing this?
I love Mike Tyson.
Dude, that's awesome. Mike Tyson is one of the GOATs.
You know what I mean? Those perspective moments, obviously you guys have built something
Mike is all
massive
that. Mike
and special.
We got
and
some.
you have access to all these different things. You've gotten to experience and do all
Prime.
these different things.
We'll get,
Deion Sanders, yeah.
Prime. We took Prime to Barstool.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, that's our guy.
Like for me, it'd be the guys like Kevin Durant.
He's a basketball.
I mean, Kevin Garnett, shut up. Man.
He never made it.
Damian Lillard. I mean, when I'm playing one-on-one against Donovan Mitchell, when I'm playing one-on-one against Trey Young. Because my dreams, my first love, and I tell my wife this, my first love was was basketball, baby. You my second love. Let's not never get this tangled and twisted. My first love was basketball. So I thought I was going to the league. And unfortunately, I did.
Chauncey Gilliffs.
Oh, look at that! Look,
He knows something.
See now. All right, I'm gonna forgive you. The producer, I'm gonna forgive you. Look at that shit. 3-time back-to-back MVP. 3 years in a row. Look at that.
I always see them clips. I always catch the clips.
Look at that. Wait. Show some highlights. Oh.
The Wallo ones.
Ooh.
The motivation.
Ooh,
the
show some highlights.
Ones.
Yeah, we do it.
What do you think? What's next for y'all?
We got a lot of big stuff coming. But right now, on the 20th, we got Gillie Wallo knockout party.
Yes.
Wilmington, Delaware. Chase Fieldhouse is going down. We killing them. So we pack the house, pay-per-view, all that shit.
Yes.
What's like a North Star for $1 million worth of game? Whether it's the next deal, where you want to be, what you want it to look like.
Us. Deals is easy.
Right.
It came so easy. Like me and Gil talk about, we really talk about sitting around talking shit, watching the kids, play sports and leaving the game. That's what me and him talking about.
My next dream, my next goal in life is to be the next LeVar Ball.
That's all you want to do. And we just
That's all I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to go to my grandkids and my nephews' games and be on the sideline talking crazy. They all going to the Sixers. We going to win 10 championships in a row. I don't know why y'all put your babies against they different animals. I'm trying to.
And just chill. Because people don't understand. Like, you got to enjoy it because we work so hard. Everybody works so hard. Nobody think about leaving. Like, we going to be happy when we ain't got to wake up and post no more.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about that. Wait till we ain't got to wake up.
Right.
And we just out the game. That's what we talk about.
Yeah. Well, do you guys have you guys thought about an exit strategy?
Oh,
we
got some.
Yeah?
We got a few of them.
You got a timeline for me?
Yeah, we got about like 5 years. We probably be done.
5 years?
Yeah. That might be a little too long. Right?
Now you want to build something that'll sustain itself and
absolutely.
get away from it? Or is it going to be like,
no,
hey,
it's something that sustains itself and we be
cool.
from here and we still watch and oversee everything.
With sustainability, are you talking about like your weed company you have, or are you talking about from like a podcast, from a media standpoint?
From a media standpoint, from the marijuana strand, I like to call it flower.
Companies.
Shout out to it's expanding every day, going into more and more stores. I
Gilly
got 3
grows.
strands. Gilly grows. I got 3 strands: Gillie Wonka, Perp 30, and Mule Kick.
What do we just for
that was Gillie Wonka.
Gillie Wonka is gas. I had one hit and I feel like I'm dead right now.
I know, that's why I ain't passing.
I'm about to call that funeral home.
I was about to swing it back around, but Will, he's sitting over there. I saw him like,
no.
I said, I don't know if you're gonna be able to finish this.
I'll be mute here after another puff.
Yeah, when we smoke, it does either get really talkative or Will just sit there with his mouth open, just stare
smile,
at people. Just smile.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit's crazy.
Like, I mess with Will. Man, I fucking love you.
Let me ask y'all one question. Let me ask y'all one question.
Go ahead.
Because I got a lot of athlete friends, NFL, NBA, and a lot of them struggle post-league.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. Like I just had a friend hit me up Gilly, man, I've been out the league now for 3 years, man. I'm kind of going through it. Like financially I'm good. I'm straight, but I don't got no purpose. How was it for y'all?
I mean, we were fortunate because of Bussin' with the boys. But
I don't know about you, but I kind of feel guilty talking about it almost, because it did seem like once we were already doing the podcast while football was happening.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a seamless transition of like you're going from one purpose to the next purpose.
Right.
Like you feel like your identity, whether it's wanting to be in the light still, wanting to make sure your name has some sort of recognition, or you want to build something of your own, like you just kind of went from one to the next.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you do feel guilty because you talk to so many guys that are either trying to still be in the league or out of the league now. And whether they're financially good or they still got to work, it's like people go through that where like you go from being basically you get your ass kissed 24/7 from the time like you get a scholarship offer. The minute you get a scholarship offer, your ass is kissed every single day until it's over. And it goes from like hey, it's so awesome what you're doing. I remember I was in the car with somebody the other day, and I was like talking about my knee hurting, and they're like, yeah, man, you're fucked now. And just talking about how like your body, like people played high school football and they have injuries, and now like that the hero part is over of being an athlete. The end, they're all like, man, that sucks. You had to put your body through that. And it's just like some guys don't have anything to grasp that still gives them that same feeling of whether it's playing football or basketball or hockey or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I feel for them too, because that would be a very lost feeling to have.
Yeah.
Very lost.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't feel guilty talking about it because it's like we obviously put in a lot of work to get to a spot like this. I know for me, it was year 6 and I was a backup and special teams guy. And in my position, you don't wish injury upon anybody, but you almost need that to happen if I'm going to get some time to get on the field, get some film. So I knew I knew going into that next free agency, I was going to be like a minimum paid guy. I would have to be on a 90-man roster to make the 53. So I remember when we first started talking about it and I was journaling about it, but it was like, yeah, what am I going to do if this game is done? Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm still going to play football, but I'm going to have to grind to make the team every year because, again, I didn't have the role I was in Tennessee that year. So when we started talking about doing Bussin', it was like, you know, it was something when we did our first episodes, and again, when we had on our first guest, and then Barstool reached out to us. I remember we got our first sponsor from local. It was like local Anheuser, Ajax Turner. And I couldn't wait to call Taylor because it's like, bro, this podcast just offered us $15,000 for 10 episodes. And I felt
good. That's real.
The excitement I had in that moment was like getting my first like NFL check. It was like, yo, we could make a little bit of money doing this.
Right.
And then Barstool reached out and they want to do a partnership. And it's like, yo, a media company like Barstool Sports is wanting us to be under our umbrella. Like we got something and I have joy and like I love doing this stuff. Like getting to still be, because everybody misses the locker room whenever you're done playing. Like that's the one thing every ex-athlete says.
It doesn't matter
it's
what
like,
level.
I miss the conversations. You'll talk about the wins and losses, all the good times and bad times, but ultimately you like miss the fellas. So getting to do something and create something in the stratosphere of like still getting to sit with athletes, still getting to sit with people, kind of like having your foot in it, in the game a little bit more, but getting to do this and transition and make some money doing it and owning your intellectual property. It's fucking, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That was crazy getting that first offer from that local Anheuser-Busch because when we started this, it was legit like, yeah, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah,
it was
and Hunter Briley, the real estate company,
is
a holy shit, bro. Like
we have
we could have sponsors here.
That's how it happened.
It's wild
because once you get off the roller coaster of the NFL, because it's like you reach the top of a mountain and you're getting patted on the back. You're getting like you have structure around you. You're playing on the the biggest show every weekend, and then when it's gone, you usually don't know when it's gone, and usually somebody doesn't tell you. You probably get cut, and then you just don't get a phone call again, even though you're working to like, oh, the next call's gonna come, the next call's gonna come. But then when you officially know that it's over, the logo's not calling you to make sure you got a job the next day or to make sure you're in good hands. Like you got to be in a moment, you got to ride this high, and you were kind of catered to the entire time. And then when reality kind of sets in, that's where you kind of get lonely. You're trying to figure out what that next purpose is, or in a lot of competitors' minds, what that next roller coaster is. Shit, that Gillie Wonka is coming out soon. Gillie Wonka's out on shelves.
This was a collaborative episode of Bussin' with the Boys, $1 million worth of game. We came through.
Before we let you go, we have to do one question. It's presented by Twisted Tea.
Let's do it.
Come on, let's get it.
Because now we're talking about sponsors, we want to give a big shout out to Twisted Tea because Twisted Tea is a refreshing hard iced tea made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol, full of flavor, very refreshing. Twisted Tea goes down smooth. There's no carbonation. It makes it easy to drink all day long. Twisted Tea feels fun and celebrates extreme fandom on game day. It is the perfect alcohol for game day. Whether tailgating in a parking lot, watching in a bar, or watching with friends at home, Twisted Tea is there to turn up your game day. Keep it twisted. Grab a refreshing Twisted Tea today. Wallo is actually just saying, I don't drink, I don't smoke, but if I was to ever drink, it would be a Twisted Tea. So shout out that. Our question today, Gilly, this one is for you. Let me just paint a little picture for you. All right. It's February. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl. It's pregame. You have 1 minute and 13 seconds to tell these Eagles right before they're about to go out, listen to the national anthem and kick off in the Super Bowl. What are you going to say for that 1 minute and 13 seconds? The floor is now, but before you go, get your thoughts about you. I'm going to start this timer for 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Okay.
You ready? Go.
I'm going to say, come on, bring it in. Bring it in. I'm going to say, let me tell y'all something, fellas. Y'all know what y'all been doing your whole life. playing football. AJ, you've been catching passes your whole life. Quinyon, you've been locking shit up your whole life, man. Cooper, man, you've been making plays your whole life. BG, I know you hurt, baby, but we gonna bring this one home for you. Jalen, you've been doubted your whole life. Think about when you was at Alabama. You wasn't good enough. You had to go over to Oklahoma. Think about that when you got to the league. You wasn't good enough. Think about that. There's 2 Super Bowls, Jalen. None of them other quarterbacks ain't been in the Super Bowl yet. You're good enough. Jalen Carter. They was comparing you to the next Aaron Donald. You're better than Aaron Donald. All right? Let's not overthink this shit. This shit is football, fellas. That's all it is football. Let's go out there, make the plays. Everybody, just do your part. Don't overdo anything else. Just do your part.
1 minute and 24 seconds. Hey, beautifully said.
It was good.
Calm, cool, collected.
That was good.
Very nice. Very nice.
That'll get your piss hot.
Guys, appreciate you guys so much for coming and hanging out today.
Through.
It was awesome, man. We appreciate y'all. It's awesome to see how much y'all kill it. And I loved hanging out with you, Gilly, during Surviving Barstool, dude. That was a great time.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all, man.